Car trouble.
No,
well,
it's
in
not.
Wichita, Kansas.
Roger, 0J, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around.
Hey, Sarah, some people heard it, some saw it, but the big question is, what is it?
Those guys from Wichita.
Push the button, Max.
A loud boom. Wichita police say it was not an explosion.
It's those guys from Wichita.
Rescued.
Some say it sounded like a bomb.
It's those guys from Wichita.
One thing that is clear, the loud noise heard by many in Wichita.
Those guys from Wichita.
And make love to her.
It's those guys from Wichita.
Ladies and gentlemen, up in the corner, it's Skin Man. Yeah. No, it's not. He's not there. I'm just kidding.
I did see a person detected on driveway.
How's it sound? I sound all right?
Be here. You sound great.
We'll scroll up and see my. Oh, I'm all right.
See your levels. What's your levels?
Levels.
Ah, they're good.
Levels.
They're fine.
Lucky levels.
Hey, sign the bill. They're fine. Let the robots do it. God. Okay, I've had the worst past hour.
Tell me about it, buddy. You tell me your woes, I'll tell you mine.
Well, okay. You know, we're out trying to get everything done. Shannon and I accepted a gig in Buckland, Kansas, or Buckland, Oklahoma, right on the border. Half of Buckland's in Oklahoma, half of Buckland is in Kansas.
Home of the Buckland Beavers.
And the Buckland Beavers have fought there for many years. It's one of the oldest towns in Kansas.
Yep.
Settlers first started there.
That's right.
A lot of stuff comes from Buckland, and so we're going to be
that sounds right.
serving tacos tomorrow. And Buckland's about 2.5 hours away from here, where we sit, and about 5.5 hours from our spot in Oklahoma. At least when you're pulling a trailer.
As the crow flies.
So yesterday we got the trailer and drove it to Buckland to find out where we're going to be and where it is in Oklahoma, and make sure that we're on the Oklahoma side and all that stuff, and then headed back to Kansas. Yeah, we took Big Red. You know, we had to remember all the stuff that we had to bring when we're doing a catering kind of thing, and
all of it.
Knock the spiders off of all the stuff that had spiders on it and stuff like that, and hope that they don't infiltrate, the kitchen unit too bad until we can clean it out tomorrow. We head back to Kansas, 2 hours, right? We get back going over here, and the whole way it's fine. I mean, it's a long trip, it's a long drive, but we got each other. We got the radio, we got everything going on. It's gonna be fine. And we didn't have any issues. Big Red ran strong, ran hard, pulled the trailer great, beautiful, no problems at all. Got to my dad's at about 10 o'clock last night. We went down and watched a little bit of Trailer Park Boys.
Love that.
Woke up this morning, let all the waterheads leave the house.
Yep, see ya.
See you guys.
Had a cup of Joe, buddy.
Had a cup of coffee, and then took off to my mom's. Everything's fine in Big Red.
Nice.
We're getting Gold Thunder, which is on a pitch count, as I've said before.
Right.
Fires right up, not even a clicker.
No problem.
Usually got 4 or 5 clickers.
She's a closer, though.
It's a closer. Head up to Park City to meet the Wolf of Park City and kick Shannon out.
Saw him.
To hang out with the Wolf
there
for a while.
There he is. There he is.
And I continued today. I mowed the little place there, which, didn't need it, but they haven't paid me since I've started this summer. So I continue to do it.
You should.
That they'll just keep racking it up. It's a big corporation.
Yep.
Eventually they'll have to pay me or I'll sue them.
At some point, yeah.
I'll own the place.
And then I headed down, stopped by Orscheln's or whatever, the one, Atwood's. Can you hear, bud?
He's got the music going right there.
Oh, okay. A little bit of music.
I heard
he's got...
Yeah, it's layered. It's layered.
Yeah, it's nice.
Layers,
it's in the background.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I did some mushrooms on the way here, so I didn't know what was happening.
That's what we should do.
It's been a while since we played the intro. We usually go a little freeform.
Dry.
But
I brought it up, and then that's why that's actually the reason for the late start.
It's fine. It's good. It's good to act like we can do it again.
We want to get paid, like Casey's big podcast.
Gangsta.
Well, this one's not on Anchor. I guess we could do that maybe.
I'll release it on Anchor on my show if you want, man. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Make you some extra. Makes you extra money.
Well, it will. I'll put my ad over the top of it.
It might be.
I'll change it to say I'm also from this show.
Well, that was kind of the whole plan, but I'll get into that later as far as that goes. So anyways, I get mowing. I had to do some spraying. I stopped and bought spray and all that stuff and
smart
and whatever and did it. I got back done. It's like I got about an hour to get here. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go get I have a fuel filter wrench inside the garage for the Big Red, and I bought that fuel filter, and it needs to be changed because they usually about every 10,000 miles on the diesel you want to change them, and it's been way over that. So I went and grabbed the wrench, the tool. It's like, I won't do it now. I'll start Big Red up, let it cool down, go grab the tool, get out of here because there's a party, of course.
Well, but
getting Big Red, no air conditioner. We had no problems with the air conditioner.
No, blew nice.
Blew great. Yeah. No air conditioner.
Did you turn it on though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn it off. Turn the truck off. Like, okay, maybe.
Yeah. What's up now?
It's like the same. Do you
reset
unplug
it, like your computer when it
right.
messes up. I'm with you.
You know, start it back
the
up.
battery off.
And then it was like, well, maybe it's. I didn't think it'd be the clutch because I've replaced about everything on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have no blower at all on any setting, on defrost, on nothing. Nothing's happening. No blower. And it's like, could be a fuse, could be a relay.
A fan belt.
And then fan belt was good, but it could be it's probably electrical.
Yeah.
Or the blower motor just died.
Yeah, I just gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That truck's almost new, so.
But you get on, so frustrating, dude. All I'm looking for is the fuse diagram because, of course, I don't have the little deal in the glove box.
The cup. Yeah.
You know, so fuse diagram for the thing to show me my fuses, and it's always a forum that will take you to the first time, and the answer is always inevitable, no matter what you're looking at. Well, your first problem is your truck's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Bitch, no shit.
I know, man.
I could afford a new one. I would.
Man.
Like, do you have an answer? And they always have an answer.
Yeah.
So why do you have to start with that?
Yeah.
Imagine if that was like with anything else in the world. If you had a question, maybe you're 19 years old and you're like, or maybe you're 16, you got pregnant.
Yeah.
And you were like, I don't know what this feeling is in my body. You know,
right.
It's my first trimester and I started having this weird feeling, and you type it on a forum. And if the first answer was,
Kansas,
first problem is you're 16 years old. It's like, hey, fuckstick, I know I am. So I get through those forums.
Right.
And I
you send a couple
found
emails?
I found all the fuse diagrams, which I've had to look over a million times.
Yeah.
This truck's had so many problems, you know, since you own it on those little kinds of things, because it is that old. And I check all the fuses and I check all the relays, and it's not that, because it's even clicking. If you just put it on run, you can hear the relay clicking.
Right.
I switched the horn relay, which worked to make sure, just in case.
Sure.
Nothing worked. No air conditioning. Like, well, and I don't necessarily care, except for we're in the worst global, warming trend or whatever. I don't know. And then I also know I have a 7-hour drive in it tomorrow. So I didn't really want to do that with but I will. It just sucks to give up on it, especially if it's something so little as a fuse or a relay.
Sure.
And so I lick my wounds. I say, screw it. I can't sit. I got to plan the show.
I can't deal with you right now.
Sorry, I'm not going to do it. I pulled into the church parking lot because it's the only place I can get internet. And then I worked on it there. I was like, I can't do that. Screw it. Go over to the gas station. They had buy one, get one A-Shocks. BOGO on my A-Shock. So I slammed a couple A-Shocks and I started, perusing the internet for funny stories to talk about on tonight's show. Right? And it's fine.
AC comes right back on.
No, I back out. I'm paying attention. I'm backing out of Casey's. 100,000 people there. There's one guy that's just waiting for chicken nuggets at Casey's.
I'll wait.
Well, fuck yeah, you will. Those are some good.
I got some new ones coming. I'll wait.
They didn't have it. These people
you get a bag of your Gordettos and you move on.
There's like
that's a top-notch nug, man.
7 people ordering pizzas here.
Yeah.
And then this one guy's, you guys got any of those chicken nugget things? It's like, no.
None.
We're cooking 7 pizzas right now.
Yeah.
You've seen all these. Oh, wait, dude.
You cracked the code. I was hiding them right here.
You're going to buy 5. There's a McDonald's. There's a Sonic. What are you doing, dude? And so anyways, that waterhead was in the way. And so I just left, just took the pizza and left in the A-Shocks.
See
you guys. I don't have to pay for this. I don't have to be around you guys.
Nope.
And I'm backing out. Then I get to the little turn, and there's traffic and stuff. I'm waiting to turn. I guess I'm waiting too long. I don't know. I guess I pissed the guy. No, I didn't get honked at, but I guess I made the 2 young criminals behind me very angry.
Right.
Because they pulled up beside me and got just in front of me and then started squirting their windshield wiper fluid. By the way, I don't have air conditioners, so my window's down, squirting it into my face.
Well, that's not nice. Did they knew it was going that way?
And they got this stupid freaking redneck truck, like an old 90 '07 Chevy with the stupid exhaust. It's like,
there's your problem.
You didn't call. You would have called us. We would have came and helped you.
That's 20 years old. That truck.
We'd have hopped in my big truck. We'd have hopped in my 20-year-old truck.
What am I doing? Like, what does my shirt say something? Like, I'm down with BLM or something.
Right.
Did they fling curse words at you?
Yeah, they give me the fingers. Like, what did I do? Am I in the right truck? Is this somebody else's Big Red or?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then whatever.
Did you say something to the chicken nugget guy?
No, I didn't say anything. I mean, I said thank you to everybody I had to thank in there.
We can't do that. Did you say sir? Did you say sir or ma'am?
Yeah, I don't remember. I might have offended somebody with a pronoun, I guess, but it was just. I was like, God. And then I don't have air conditioning, and this guy sprays me, which is refreshing.
Yeah.
But
thank you. Well, joke's on him. He wasted money. That windshield washer fluid is not free.
Oh, it's gone up.
And it runs by relay too.
Right.
The pump does.
Well, you got to find it on the internet.
And then I get to the hydraulic turn back over here when you're leaving Hayesville, and you can turn on hydraulic, and there's traffic coming, and so I goose it a little bit.
Hey, baby. Yeah.
Give her the beans.
Give her the beans, just a hair.
Yeah.
I hadn't been giving her much beans.
Got to blow the cobwebs out.
Forgot that this morning when we kicked Shannon off, we unstrapped his gigantic bag. We didn't put any straps back on. So as I give it the beans, guess what? Everything blows my griddle, blows off the back into the intersection at hydraulic. And so it's in the middle of the road, and there's all these people, and I can't really do anything. So I drive down.
You dropped your shit.
Drive down to turn around in that little housing development to come back and grab it. And some nice, kind fella was across. Somebody pulled out that dirt road, and he saw it all happen. And he run and dragged it off the road. He's, I just moved your shit so they wouldn't hit it. I was like, okay.
Thank you.
I was putting it in my trunk so I could chase you down.
Thanks, man. So I get out, and the griddle's pretty heavy, and so is that canopy thing we got. They weren't very heavy when everybody's yelling at you.
No.
Grab it with one hand.
Yep, one hand, threw it in the back. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got it on the truck. I get in the truck. Air conditioner works great.
Oh, you just did it.
Slam the door.
I don't know. I have no idea.
You turned it on.
I don't know.
You just had to goose it, man.
That's what it is. You got to blow the cobwebs out.
It is the strangest thing. The world's a funny place, dude. It is a strange deal. So, anyways, everything's fine now.
Wow.
But it's weird how all that stuff happens within an hour. Sorry. Anyways, that happened.
I'm glad it's working, but
Nothing.
I will say
He was recording across the hall.
the first problem is you're driving a 20-year-old truck.
Thank you. Yeah.
I was gonna say first.
Great
22
point.
years old
Good
by
point.
now.
Yeah.
It can drink. It can drink. It can vote. And
I was maybe I can get you guys and I'll tell it quick. Maybe I can get everybody now that Skin Man's here. Welcome, Skin Man. Thanks for the beer.
You are welcome.
I had my wife's vehicle in a mechanic shop for 8 months. Okay. Now I said to the mechanic shop, hey, here's my concern. Need you to check my transmission. I'm not a transmission guy. I'm especially not a transmission guy in this vehicle because it's space age and it's an older car. First problem, 22 years old. It's a 2000.
Yeah,
that's the first problem, and I understand that. Check the transmission. Get back with me, guy. 8 months later, I call and get just a little scratchy.
Yep.
And say, okay, well, this is what we found out. What do you want to do? And it's the switch. That's what they found out about the transmission. Great, replace it. I did to do Dunkaroo in there to get it last week, and paid for it, which was $1,000.
Yeah.
Now I got a detailed email that said with everything wrong with it. Great. I asked him several times, hey, this is the problem I have with the transmission. It's fixed. Oh yeah. My lead mechanic drove it, and I went with him on another drive to make sure. Great. I said, did you get on it? Did you punch it? Punch?
Yeah. Yeah, the griddle flew off the back.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So I drove it to my brother's, and it shifted fine, sluggish, but I hadn't drove it in a long time. So I just didn't know, you know what I mean? I didn't do the problem.
Well, it's 8 months. That gas is old, buddy.
I got the winter blend for sure.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the winter blend still sloshing around in there.
Yeah, but you got the cheap stuff when you filled it up that time.
For sure.
But it's also got winter air in there.
Exactly.
Stuff has went way up since
It's not as good. I drive it back here. I'm driving it here. I drove it from my brother's house, stopped by my sister's house to fix her water, drove it over to Derby, grab a sandwich.
Yeah. Where did you eat a sandwich at?
Just Taco too.
Taco.
There's a taco. So, and I drove from there over here.
Yeah.
Well, on the way from over here, transmission. Sound like it felt and sound. Same problem.
That it had $1,000 ago and 8 months ago?
8 months ago and $1,000 ago. That it felt, I did this in third. Because I'm trying to make it do what it did to make sure it don't do what it did.
What it done did.
What it done did. It did. So I've been thinking ever since I got here, I told Casey, I don't know what to do. The part is good for 2-year warranty on that switch they supposedly put in. So my thinking is I will go and camp out in front of their place when they open the door Monday. I'll walk right in and say, hey, guys, hate to tell you this. That switch you put on, it's out. Well, how do you know? It's doing the same thing you said it fixed.
Yeah.
So I need another switch.
We'll leave your keys. We'll get to it.
Because it's more, it's.
See you in 8 months.
Yeah, see you in 8 months. Yeah, we fixed it.
See, it's August. See you in May.
I don't know what the solution. I know what you want to do.
All I want to do is make sure the transmission is not going to, eventually come from togetherness, and it shouldn't be shifting that way. And
that's how BMWs shift.
No, they don't. Yeah. I can baby this thing.
You haven't drove it for 8 months. I don't know if you remember.
Right.
They called it a tongue biter.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't want it to come from together. I sure don't want it to fall out of the car and then damage someone else's car. Maybe on the highway. Not worried about my safety.
Insurance covers that.
And they'll be texting. That'll be fine.
Yeah,
they'll be
I've been worried. I'm worried about other people. My wife.
You shouldn't.
No, what you should do, we got to drive it over. We're just going to drive it over to
Pet Boys.
The Ford. What is that Ford place we've seen? Was it Diffie? Go over to, it's the Diffie difference.
Diffie difference?
Go down to Diffie Ford. It's over there in western Oklahoma.
Get you a probe.
See, well, what would you do?
1993 Ford Probe.
Would you just
something a little newer than what you got?
Would you buy Casey some weed and have him call up as your attorney saying, hey, you're getting sued for $10 million?
I'm awesome at that. You wouldn't have to.
I know you would.
Give me weed to do that. I'd call.
No, he'll get a restraining order.
I would treat you.
Yeah, I've got 3 restraining orders filed on me right now.
That's what you're. That's
Could
what
I
had.
have Eric dress up at some sort of Wichita PD and walk in there and say, "Hey," you know what I mean? Like,
well, no, I think you just
please speak.
Go
is
in.
there a bomb in here? You know, like.
Well, what I did,
I got a call
on the Fusion when it had that issue, and the guy at the shop did the similar thing. I took it in for brakes, and they burnt up my whole car.
Everything, yeah.
And then they charged me $1,000, and
You're welcome for burning up your car.
Yeah.
We burned. We brazened your car for you.
Yeah.
Good.
Then that same kind of feeling is like, well, this isn't going to happen. And so I just got COVID, but I took my COVID in there. I breathed in that place.
All over.
Yeah.
Hard.
Where did you say you put the switch? Oh.
Yeah, let me lean over.
Yeah. And I just breathed in his face. So I know that dude's dead. And before he died, I said, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. I'll bring it back. I don't care what it costs you, but you can't just burn my car up.
Right.
I don't care. So you guys fix it, And then they did. Well, I didn't. But ultimately what they did is like, here's your money back. We don't know what we're doing. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which at least I got my money back. And then I just sold the car to an unsuspecting buyer who doesn't care.
Your problem.
You know what I mean? They don't care.
They don't care if it's burnt. They don't care.
Well, the thing is, if you put the car on the internet right now to sell, put whatever price you want.
$8 million.
Does not matter, right? Guess what's going to happen? Ring, ring. Somebody's going to call you, and you're going to think like, I got to tell them everything that's wrong with this.
No.
Well, you have that gene just like me.
Yeah.
So like,
that's true.
Oh, dude, sometimes this is an issue. He's like, oh yeah, that's fine. It's fine. I know it's fine. It's only you're talking about 7,000.
Man, I'm just flipping this car. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Then they pulled up when I sold the Fusion. They had 3 other Fusions that were like wrecked to crap, and I'd spent all night cleaning mine, hoping that it was going to be good for this person.
They
just slammed it onto their trailer that they're going to go hawk to some other loser,
sell it for $8
that
grand.
buys an $8,000 car when you should be buying an $80,000 car. So that's what I'm saying. It does not matter. Lose our conscience. Consciences are stupid, and they're for fools. They're for fools.
They are.
If you've got a guilty conscience, you're a fool.
You're right.
And I pity them.
Casey, you want to buy a car?
I pity the fool.
It's just, I don't know if there's no solution.
I currently am the owner of a 2001
you're screwed.
BMW
If you get a new
with all those
transmission, you know how much it's going to cost. I mean, a new one. You can ballpark it.
Yeah, you can ballpark it. It's $6,000.
Yeah.
My thing is,
Go buy a car.
It's worth more than the car, and that's why I had it in. It's worth me to pay a few $100.
Mhm.
I didn't know it was gonna be $1,000 now. Calm down. But they did change two things. One, they did a fine job. It was a switch.
Yeah.
It's fixed.
And they put the washer fluid in it. I mean, it had plenty of washer fluid.
Sure. But the biggest problem, it was there, they did not fix.
Yeah.
So you know what? Whatever the schematics that you did in that email, whatever that cost, was that $500?
Yeah.
What, $400? Whatever it is. Either give me the money back.
Right.
Or if you know that's the problem, put in another switch in. Because it's covered.
Yeah.
Or here's really the fun one. Fix the problem I brought it in here, or find out why it's doing this, which the initial 8 months ago why I brought it in.
Now here's a question that they might ask you.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But they might say the reason that this issue was happening on BMWs is because they installed an electrical thing right under a cup holder. I mean, so people would spill their drinks.
Different switch, but that's
my question is: were you holding a coffee today, driving?
Yeah, I spilled it all over.
Right where it burned up these switches.
I spilled it all over. Yeah, I mean, I cleaned it. I cleaned the car. I just opened the doors.
Yeah, sprayed it with water. Right.
Yeah. No, none of that happened.
Yeah.
I'm in an impasse. I could just bite my tongue, drive it back home, put the things I know need on it, and just baby it until that damn thing dies. Like that's going to be my vehicle.
Yeah.
Which is an idea. And just forget this ever happened. Or I can be a little naughty, which sometimes I like to be, and drive it in there and say, hey guys, that switch, it broke again. How do you know? It's got the same problem. I brought it in here 8 months ago.
Right.
So you guys want to fix it now, or just give me my money back?
Yeah.
And I'll go deal with it. And then we've wasted 8 months.
Yeah. I think you have to do that. I mean, just go in there and get your money back, or have them fix it, because they didn't do anything.
No. Well, I guarantee he didn't do anything. I haven't crawled.
Or what would you think, Eric?
What the fuck they charge you $1,000 for if it's just a switch? What else did they do?
There was 2 switches. There's one on the console,
right,
and there was one on the transmission itself.
You have to take a cover off to get to that one.
There's labor in it, and they took about 6 hours.
$800 in labor and $200.
It's not just when he says switch, you're thinking like on off.
Yeah.
It's like a switch.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying.
He also
switch was like.
He also went through a diagnostic.
The switch, okay.
He said, hey, your whole front end needs to be redone. No problem.
Yeah.
That's $300. I have to do it. Now, if they did it, it was a couple thousand.
Right.
You still.
That's cool because you can finally put hydraulics on.
I know. Yeah.
I'll
put real cool. Real cool.
But if they did full diagnostic, why didn't they realize what's going on with the fucking transmission?
Right. Good point. So they said that's wrong. My radiator, which I knew, didn't need to be replaced. That's fine.
You'll get your
brakes. Fine. Okay. Hey, you might want to replace these 2 hoses of the power steering. They're just getting old.
Yeah.
Okay. You have the tiniest of leaks out of your valve cover gasket. I wouldn't worry about it. And that ABS light's on because you need a brake switch. All this stuff you can do, Shannon, they keep telling me. I'm like, okay. But what's wrong with the transmission? This switch and that switch. These switches.
Yeah.
And you got those fixed. Yeah. Okay. I drive it off.
Well, to be fair to them, you've driven about 13 miles since you got it.
And he keeps hammering it and wondering what's wrong with his 180,000 mile car.
Well,
I don't though. When I got up, I mean, I
$180,000 car.
That's true.
I did
Dubai.
I didn't really get on it too much. I got it on a little bit getting on the highway, like you do.
You said passing mode, and I rode with you. I know what your passing mode is. You say put your helmet on, strap your seatbelt in.
So I got up
there. This bitch.
And to be honest, it did go through the gears.
Yeah.
And it still goes through the gears better. But when I got on it coming back over here, just down to hydraulic, we're cruising now.
Pippity popping.
I'm going to hit it in the old pass, and it dropped down to 3rd, and it go boom. It sounded like it was going to come togetherness.
Maybe you hit my griddle.
Hey, bud, I know that sound. That's why the whole reason it's in there.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk.
No,
I was just asking what you guys would do. Obviously, you don't have any fucking opinions.
I'll tell you what I would do. I realize we live in a shitty world. Take the car back and just say fuck it. That's about the length of what I do, because I've been in similar situations with cars and I fought them, and you never fucking win. So just go lick your wounds and say fuck it. Maybe go get full coverage and.
Well, what I would do is go get her.
Firebomb it.
The whole point of this is that you need a reliable car for your wife to drive long distances. And if this isn't going to be it, then there's no reason in keeping it.
She could drive the truck.
It's good enough.
Sell it right now
good
for
enough.
most
Just
dollar
take it.
you'll ever get for it.
Yeah, it's good enough. Go take it to CarMax.
Or wherever.
Why not?
Any
Why not?
place.
Doesn't matter. Dump it off.
Just take it to CarMax. They'll cut you a check, and then just go find some shitty little car that. There you go.
That
Done.
has the same problems.
Preferably not.
Yeah.
Then get it like a fucking Dodge Neon. That way the parts are cheap. You can fix it yourself.
I can fix a BMW myself, other than the transmission. My thing is if a mechanic that knows what the fuck they're doing says, Shannon, don't spend any money, this transmission is going to go. Something's, the gears are gone. It's been stripped. I don't know. Third gear is whatever. The linkage is out. You're going to have to replace the transmission in the next 10, 20,000 miles. Guess what? Then it's CarMax, or get rid of it, or push it off a cliff, or sell it, or whatever I need to do, because I'm not going to spend.
But I think that's what
I
think that's what it is. I think that's where they said these switches will fix it, and if they didn't, then something's internally wrong with it.
Did they do a
flush?
flush?
Ever say that? They didn't say that. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't think so. And matter of fact, you can't do that on BMWs, because BMWs don't even have a dipstick to check the transmission fluid. You're never supposed to touch the transmission fluid. Ever.
And I know that your wife has a truck that she can drive. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you need a vehicle.
That's it. I mean, either I drive that and just drive it until I die, blow up, transmission goes out. You know what I mean? That's either that, or just get mean with them and say, fix them. And if you come back and say, we did find another problem, Shannon, you need a new transmission. We could have done that 8 months ago, dude.
Yeah.
Now I just spent $900 for you to put 2 switches in that I lost, because the only question I had when I came in here was, I need to know if that transmission is shit.
Are they a transmission shop, or are they a BMW?
They're a full accredited BMW, Mini Cooper, any kind of German car you want to throw in there. And they are very good mechanics. This is the worst I've had with them. Because normally
they're good mechanics. They just don't give a fuck anymore.
They're good mechanics. They just don't have the time, i.e., that's why it was there for 8 months. Now, I said take your time, because I don't need the car.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well, then things changed when your wife needed the truck every day. Your daughter's car broke and then took your car,
right.
And now you need the car.
So then I called and I got on them. They finally got the switch in. They got it ordered. They put it in. They assured me they test drive it. The transmission's fine. What else do you want us to do? Anything else on this list? And I said, no, I'll come and get it.
Yeah.
Because everything on that list was
30
times
I understand,
the price,
dude, but if it's
all of that stuff I can do.
I don't know. I just can't imagine that switch going out this fast again if they did put a switch in.
Yeah, it didn't, though, Conrad. That's my rub. I guarantee that if they put that switch in, it didn't go out. But my reasoning for bringing it back is, you assured me that was.
Well, that's
the
what
problem.
I say. I go back, get my money, then I drive it over to CarMax or wherever, sell it to somebody, and who cares, and forget about it, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my opinion. Rather than have this go on and on for a year.
Sure.
He gave you an opinion.
Thank you. What is your opinion?
Take it back.
Yeah.
But if there's switches, if you think they put the switch in, then just go get your money, because it didn't fix the problem.
Yeah. Well, that's the way I'd start the conversation, though. It's like, hey guys.
Yeah. Right.
You got to put another switch in. That either switch was bad or whatever, because it's doing the same
and then
thing.
what they're gonna do is like, no, it can't be the switch after a week. And it's like, well, then give me my money back.
Yeah, that day they said it can't be the switch because it's brand new. It's like, well, give me my money back.
Right.
Yeah, we just put it in wrong.
Right.
You need to go through that invoice, see what they fucking billed you for, and see what you get your money back for. I've done this shit, man. When I had
the whole switch,
my first Scout, I paid $1,000 for it. Took it in to get some pads or something, and about 10 trips later and $1,500 later, brakes still were the exact same, no changes, and you can't fucking do anything about it. They're just gonna fuck you. They're gonna keep banging you until you just walk away.
It's like trying to fix. It's like getting a divorce or something and being like, oh, guess what? I saw my ex last night and we talked and it actually felt pretty good. I think there's
Nice.
connection still is there. And then you get an email from her. They're like, hey, you still owe me this, and it's like, I thought we had a comment. You didn't bring any of that up.
Oh, that's happened to me.
That's what I'm saying.
I got divorced. I got a nice letter in the mail, and it started off nice, like, hey, I'm really sorry about yada yada yada. By the way, I had to do my taxes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It happens to every guy that goes through. It's like, wait,
14.
I thought we liked each other again.
It's off. No. It's off $1,400.
Yeah.
And so, sexual favors. You're a whore. $1,400. Stick it in an envelope. Mail with no explanation.
Yeah. I don't know, and I don't know. It sucks, but you can find a vehicle. I've found two since your thing's been in the shop for $6,000.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
So to say that you can't find them,
no, I could find them all day. I think the dreaded situation for getting a vehicle is going back to bank first and belling it up to the bar and say, I need a vehicle, or just get my Jeep back, which I can fix, and then just get the daughter, have her pay for a new vehicle, which you can't because she's paying for rent now.
Just whatever you get for the BMW, just buy a car of that price, man.
Well, I thought, if I go to CarMax and they give me $2,000, that's an engine and transmission for the Cherokee. Yeah. I thought about that too. Then problem solved. It's just, I don't have any ties. I know it's dad's go fast machine, and it feels a little bad given it does, but I don't care. You know what I mean? It's just horrible that I got to drive it for maybe a year for $6,800. Know what I mean?
Yeah, when most people get paid to drive their vehicle a lot of people get paid to drive their vehicle for a year. Yeah. I bought it, and then they took it to trade it in. They gave me more than I bought it for. Yeah. That kind of deal. That's not going to happen to you.
No. No.
Or me. So
I drove it for a year for $6,800. I could Uber for $6,800.
Yay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And see, that's what people say. Go buy a car. You got lucky on that GMC. Everyone that I know has got lucky laying down $6,000-7,000. If I were to go buy a car, he knows he just bought that Malibu. It's a piece of shit. I mean, as far as he's got to put a whole bunch of shit in it, it's a brand new car. It's 4 years old. So that's what happens to me. I'll go buy another $7,000 car.
See, but that's not fair because you bought your dad's car. You didn't have an option to go look at other cars.
No, I know. I bought it, and
it's a whole different.
Beamers are fucking nice cars from like 0 to 60 or 70,000 miles.
Yeah. Well, I know
under 5 years old.
That's a bad example for me.
Well, what I mean is I looked for 3 months or 4 months for that truck. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, the first thing I looked at.
Right.
Every time Isaac drives the car.
The difference is I looked for that truck. I spent $18,000 on that truck. The truck's great. I love it. Even with all the recalls and all the bullshit that's happened with that truck, I love that truck. But there's a big difference between 18,000 and 7.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know. I'm just saying that they're out there, but it's not like there's some sort of special magazine that I'm looking at that tells me this one's good. It still was. Oh, maybe.
There is.
Grifter.com, dude.
Grillslapper.com, dude.
I don't know. I'd say
I'm glad Big Red's done.
Can we just wreck it? Just go wreck it. Let's wreck it into Gold Thunder.
You can blow it up.
I'll hit it.
You give it to me for 8 months and give me $900, and I will fix it just as good as they did.
Got it.
Just drop it off at Chance Transmissions and tell them you want the Conrad deal.
Right.
They'll know what you're talking about.
They'll know what I'm talking about.
This thing needs a transmission. Yeah. I need it like Conrad got it. Huh? Yeah.
You remember Conrad's deal?
Huh? Yeah.
Take your time.
The Conrad's truck was stolen. Huh?
Don't need it.
Anyway, so I don't know what to do. If you think Big Red's slumping, we could both tie our hands together on our broken cars, drive it back to Oklahoma, and we'll pick up White Lightning and drive it back.
No, it's not slumping. It's fine. It'll be fine. Now it's gonna be crazy having you follow me home in your car.
I might not. That's what I'm trying to come up with a solution, because I might just leave it here and just go with you.
Right.
And then just
come back and
I'll come back. Wednesday.
Right.
and then drive the damn thing into the car part. Say, hey, by the way, I'm going to bring my car in Wednesday because you need a new switch in it, and it's your warranty. So you guys, what do you mean, Shannon? What do you? It's the same problem, dude. So the switch is out because you said it was a switch. So put another switch in it.
Well, I can try to cheer you up, bud.
Please do.
As I was searching at Casey's
Shit, it's the switch.
for life's answers, and looking around the internet, and
Did you get some nuggies?
no nuggies.
Okay.
But you guys have all heard of the TikTok, the Chinese spyware that they
Mhm.
installed on
I've
Americans'
heard
phones.
of it. Yeah, I've heard of it.
And I'm on there, dude, and there's lots of cool stuff if you want to watch the twerking nurses, and
Nice.
if you want to see like a lot of camel toes are on there, front butt cities on
Oh, I
there. If
love
you
that.
Google front butt city, it goes there. But I did not know this has 1 million views. It's been removed, but it had 1 million views, so it influenced enough people.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 million views is more than we've been doing this for 10 years. No, there's not been 1 million people that have listened to us.
No.
Yeah, check out the Irish wolfhounds that are on there.
And that's probably got 1 million views. You know,
no, it's got
Those dogs are 6'3".
yeah, 23
head.
million, 23 million views. I've watched it twice.
well, I don't know if they do what whoever this user was, and I got the story here, but what they're doing, it's called vabbing. Have you heard of vabbing?
yeah,
Sounds kinky.
No,
it's
sounds vaginal and vaping.
yes.
Well,
Together.
that's exactly what it is, Eric. TikTok users are vabbing. They're wearing their vaginal juices as perfume to attract their natural attraction. A scientist says that it makes no sense.
Well,
Scientists, what do you think?
This
That's
doesn't
fucking
work.
stupid.
Some TikTok users are wearing their vaginal secretions as a do-it-yourself perfume after hearing the trick that can boost sexual attraction.
Nice.
The trend called vabbing became fodder on TikTok after Mandy Lee shared a now-deleted video endorsing the practice. It's 1 million views.
This is just what happens when this no child left behind bullshit.
Well, that's what's so funny. It's like, should they vote?
These damn kids need to just put down their phone and crack a book.
Comments from longtime vabbing fans suggest it's great for date nights and job interviews.
Long time vabbing?
how long you been vabbing?
I got this job at Panda Kitchen.
Yep.
Vabbed up.
Look at me.
80 grand a year, baby.
And now Panda Kitchen smells like a great place for a stick up.
Do they?
Ooh. Chowder's bad in here,
Is
man.
this Long John Silver's?
Freaking egg drop soup is rotten in
Whoa,
here.
Yeah.
Who put the clam chowder on the buffet?
Well, it's not the first time that this has made headlines. I guess in 2019, Sean Boodrum's book, The Game of Desire, she
Nice.
recommended vabbing and shared her personal experience, saying she's done it for 15 years.
Works.
She talked about the technique on the late night show A Little Late with Lily Singh and some sort of podcast called Taking It Out with Mike and Brian, which I haven't subscribed to yet.
Yeah.
And they are sponsoring the show, so thank you, Mike and Brian. Since then, the perfumes that promise to boost a person's pheromones, chemical signals common to a particular species, have hit the market. But there's no scientific evidence that vabbing or pheromone-powered scents work for humans.
Bullshit.
Now, this is a great segue for our lady listeners to go ahead and call in, text in, whatever, and just, give us your take on it. What do you think about this?
Yeah, hit us up on our chat page.
Because our lady listeners are very important.
And a lot
For
of them
sure.
have jobs. And how did you get it?
That's right.
Did you vab to get that job?
Email us at
And how did you get the vabbing?
GOOK.
I want to see you
GOOK Homes.
Oh.
a video of you harvesting the scent
No.
and then applying the scent.
Yeah.
No, that would be video. Oh no.
Is that you think Jack just before they walk into the store like, ooh, I haven't vabbed in a while, they just reach down, get a couple digits in there, and
Yep.
all right, I'm good to go. Oh man, black and white.
We're
It's like we're in an
vabbing.
art studio.
Yeah, we're in the middle of vabbing. Happy birthday, Steve, tomorrow. Way to go, buddy.
Yay.
I
You
don't
made it
know-
to 37.
See, Eric, I don't know what women like in yoga pants. You can get your hand in them pretty. Like some rapists have told me, you can get
Yeah.
I mean,
All your fingers.
you can get in there, but in a lot of those yoga pants and a lot of ladies wearing them, you don't have to get in to
Oh,
get
to
right.
get a
No, you can
secretion.
get through them.
Yeah, that's true. The
Well,
secretion.
I was
could
just going to say over
secrete.
the top of them.
No,
Great movie.
Yeah.
that's why they
Great
call it
movie.
they call it a finger blast for a reason.
Calm down, Kobe.
I just think that if you there is a science to it. Now, maybe it's not the right kind of. It's a weird science. Maybe it's a weird.
It's like great
well,
movie.
what I mean is
There's a science to it, but that's be like saying, it's healthy to drink spoiled milk. Well, there's science.
Yeah.
It actually doesn't prove what you're trying to say.
Right.
But
Milk.
don't you think that there's isn't there an attraction to scents? Like, does some scent, when I wear Curve, will you be bonered? Like, what cologne do I have to wear to make you have a boner when we're married?
Irish Spring.
Yeah,
Oh, but that's the thing. It's
I've been
still
wearing it
your.
for years.
So does it? What I mean is, maybe somebody vabs up, and the one job they went to, like at O'Reilly's or something, that dude's really into,
Vabbing.
Long John, like hush puppy smell. Like,
You're soaking in
I think you can file this under correlation causation sort of situation. Just because they're correlated doesn't mean they're causing one another. If somebody is, to speak freely, some dumb bitch that wants to vab and try it out,
yeah,
she's probably going to be the dumb bitch that if anybody says hi to her,
See, told you it worked.
she'll
she'll say
gargle,
that it was because of that.
gargle their testes and go, guys, ever since I started vabbing, this. And if you find out a chick's vabbing, you're like, well,
Yeah, but maybe
she's
it's
going to be easy, so I'll just go ahead and bang her. And all of a sudden, everybody goes, oh, it's working. No, you're just kind of telling everybody, hey, yeah.
Well, maybe it's
I'm a dumb
inappropriate.
whore.
Maybe it's like inappropriate. Maybe you are hiring and you have to hire a female for some unknown
Godly
reason.
Ungodly.
Your office has 13 male. They got to have more diversity in
Have
here.
a soup kitchen or
Like,
Right.
but we've had women here. They are awful at this.
Awful.
Yeah.
So diversity, you have me there. We need to put more money. We need to invest in Richilla.
What's Rochilla?
Mm.
It's
The noodle
well,
company?
it's kind of an underground kind of thing. You'll have to look it up.
Rochilla?
Richilla.
How do you spell that?
ROCHELA.
That's the sort of thing that it's best to look up in the Urban Dictionary.
Rochilla.
Yeah.
Rochilla. But what I mean is,
Or
if you
use Mexico's search engine.
say that there was a woman that
Do
Not gonna do it.
that recently vabbed, and she comes in and you're hiring women, and you, for whatever reason, you do smell it. It's not like you can say the only reason I want to hire this woman is because I was really
smelled it.
aroused by the way she's.
Yeah.
You can't say it, so you
Right.
could never, even if there was an effect, you could never admit it because then you'd be sexually harassing. You know what I mean? So maybe if it did work, it's still something that you can't credit to that. So you could never say that it was that.
She could.
Yeah.
Because she got the job.
But she could
Yeah,
to
she
her to other women.
But even if she did say that, she may be missing the point that her idiot brain thought to herself, I'm empowered now because I'm vabbing. And she presented herself better because she
That's
was in
right.
a better, more positive mental
Kind of like a
attitude. when she went in.
placebo, you know. I mean, I've
Yeah.
got depression. I take
Or
a cigarette.
placenta.
Sure. Hey, here you go.
Is that who
Take
made the GTO?
The placebo?
Yeah.
The Pontiac
That's a
placebo.
receiver
Pontiac.
that shot himself at that nightclub, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Placebo Burris.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was a good receiver.
Yeah, dude. He won a Super
He
Bowl.
was out with Carmelo Anthony.
By the way, there'll be free Carmelos after the show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And there's dudes out there that are always, so it may work on some of those weird dudes, but you could literally do anything and get a weird dude to go after you. Some guy like Chip in college, just trying
Right.
to be alternative and cool, and oh, you don't shave your legs. I find that really
Yeah.
attractive.
But what if
Can I
there?
buy you an IPA?
Well, what if that explains the phenomenon for, which is a great,
Phenomenon.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Phenomenon.
The phenomenon where you see like
Phenomenon.
like a woman like Adele or something, where clearly not talented.
Beautiful voice.
Just fucking pipes like a
Throat
rock
of an
star.
angel.
I mean, not really. People say that just because she
Oh
was.
my god.
No, just because she had a different look. People would like.
I loved her before I saw her body.
I think that a lot of times women like that, maybe they got into the room by vabbing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is about this girl. I shouldn't like this Wilson Phillips sister, but I do. Maybe her whole face is just covered with pussy secretion.
Right.
Or vaginal secretion. Sorry, use a more medical term.
Well, but if that's the case, to use medical terms,
Thank you.
you got the gribblies and the vaginal secretions.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I could be wrong.
Not every.
I could be wrong, but I don't believe women have separate scent and pheromone glands inside their vagina
No, they're
that
always
mixes with their secretions. I think the odor from those secretions
comes from the shit
is
pipe
from
into the,
bacteria and all the and pH balances
Mhm.
and shit like that.
and what they're eating.
So
Yeah.
it's not even their sense.
And
It's
if you
just
wipe
whatever
it on,
weird
if you
shit they
wipe
got
it
going
on
under
some,
there.
you know,
Check your pulse with it.
you check your pulse with it. But if you rub it on, let's say your neck, that's
Mhm.
that's right off.
That's a rash.
Well, you're going to throw off the pH. Now it's out here in the wild,
Mhm.
buddy.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Now it's out there in the air. There's different humidities
Oh yeah, it's humid out here.
because down there,
That's really humid.
different temperature.
Hmm.
So you
Yeah.
put it out here now. It's not going to be the same from down there as up here.
Think
So
that
what's
why don't
what's
women
the
put like
change?
women
Where's-
should put those little gun safe humidifier things down there. You know
For
what I'm saying?
sure.
You see how
Oh, yeah.
like if you put an
little dry
instrument
sticks.
in
the
a
little
safe,
bag,
yeah,
little
bag,
bag
shove that in there
yeah,
or something.
get that in there. Make it like a humidor. You know what I mean?
Try that out.
Right. This thing I should
Our
open
boy-
up with a
our
nice
boy
Cuban.
Yeah, our boy Clinton tried to do that, but there wasn't a bag in there. I don't think.
No, he was using a cigar.
Yeah, humidor.
It's not. It's a humidor.
You could go one of two ways. You could try to dry it out, or
Mm-hmm.
exact opposite,
Wet it
swing
up.
that pendulum.
Yep.
Get a constant flow of water through. So you could do a little bag
Water.
pump thing,
Oh,
the water
sweet mother
goes
ocean.
up and just constant does a creak through there.
Oh, creak it out.
Creak it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess so. I don't know. Anyways, we do have an interview. A nice young lady wants to join the podcast, and just wanted to let you guys familiarize yourself with the technique that she got in the door with.
Babbing.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah. Beautiful woman.
Hey,
So this is going to be over the phone then?
You look great.
Because, You know,
She was like a jelly donut on the face, you know.
that
It's on your
that
face. Pussy juice. Am I
Oh.
hired?
that exhaust vent's only going to do
I don't know
so
if
much.
pussy. I think it may be a slight shimmer. I don't. You're not. They're not talking about cum. They're talking about pussy juice. That's
Shimmer.
different.
Another great movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I've
That's
Sorry, and I was. God dang it! And I was trying to be clean this show.
The shimmer. That's
Sorry.
a type of fish.
They're not
Also-
talking about number 3. They're talking about the wetness.
that's
the
number
shad.
for a woman. That's number 3.
No,
I'm
it's
down
not.
with the wetness.
What do you think a woman is? They don't have a wiener, do they? They don't have a wiener that shoots a number 3.
Yeah, they do number 3. Yes.
Their number 3 is just number 1. It's just
No, it's not.
But wait a minute. Yeah. So
You've
but
never ended up with number 3 all.
that's just number 1. I've
Well,
ended up with it, but
it's-
it's number
It
1.
depends.
You've never made your. Well, you've had to at some point where she finished and left some in her. I don't know how if you know how this works.
there's conflicting science on the female number 3.
Yeah, one's real.
But with the
I've
vabbing,
watched it shoot out.
I'm no vagina expert,
You've done your best in
but
there.
I do believe any moisture or anything like that is either from sexual arousal or just sweat.
Or bad hygiene.
But it's not. No, I
So
believe they're-
basically, they're getting to bad hygiene, just rubbing nasty sweat stuff
Mhm.
on them.
So when your girl's getting wet,
Oh,
that's sweat or 3 is what you're saying.
First off, it's not a girl; it's a
sweat or
lady.
1.
When your
Yeah. Big clap.
person who identifies however they want
Yeah.
and has a vajayjay
Yeah.
Yeah.
is getting wet, that's
Yeah.
either sweat or number 3. You've never just seen a girl get wet.
Well,
No,
what would,
that's why I
what would
said
getting
se-
wet be?
That's
That'd
what
be
I said.
3.
Sexual harassment. You arousement. You.
Harassment. I don't know if you did say that,
But I said sexual arousement. So yeah, you can get a little lubed up if you're getting excited. or-
so what would that be? Is that P or 3?
I know, but it's only
It's
happening when
neither.
they're
You
getting
think there's a
sexually
fourth?
aroused.
You think
There
there's
is a fourth.
There's not a fourth
There's
secretion.
a fourth.
That's
Yes.
sweat.
No.
Sweat's number 4.
It might be some sort of. You're
Oh,
right. It
You're
might be a
talking
sweat,
about the creamers.
but it's a wet. It's
Well, if they
not
get
a
a-
P. It's not a.
Then it's the 3 stuff. It's just pre-3.
No.
It's like the water
No,
that's on
when a girl
top
like
of,
you just get a girl excited and there's no.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, if you got her
pre-3.
to finish, it's just more of what you felt
No,
in the
that's-
beginning.
No, it's not. No.
It's the same gland,
Hey,
dude.
let's
It's-
figure this
it's-
out. Let's figure
How many
this out.
condiments
Okay.
you think they got down there,
Let's
Casey?
figure this out.
Yeah.
This is not
At
a
least
sauce
3.
bar with 19
At
different.
least 3.
Number 1.
3 down there and a poop.
Well,
4.
There's
One-
sweat.
one is
There's
sweat.
Four
pee.
below their
sorry.
waist.
1 P.
One's P.
Number 2, poop.
I guess
Well,
sweat, sexual
okay.
sweat.
Sweat.
Number 3.
Sweat.
3.
No,
Or-
you know what number 3 is.
3.
It's number
Oh,
3.
3 is
3 is
three.
number 3.
Number 4, sweat.
No,
Okay.
4. What was 2?
Poop.
Poop.
Well, that's butt. Okay, but we're just talking about.
Well, we're just
I
counting
understand
general
that,
area,
but I mean, we
yeah.
have to.
we're
stay
just
on the-
talking about.
This
Take
is
forward,
proximal.
though.
Thank
Take
you.
forward. Okay.
They all
Okay, you're
flow
talking about
together.
below the waist. I was
Dude,
talking.
We're in the
take
whole
forward.
factory.
They
All
can,
right,
they
all
can,
right.
they can wipe a little number 2 up there. That might be.
See,
a turn
I
on.
always considered it vaginal spit.
Okay, number 4, sweat.
Well,
What's number 5?
the,
There's not a 5.
there is. There's
Sexual
I've
lubrication.
said 4 all along.
Lube.
But-
Lube.
but
sex
that's
lube.
but external.
Number 6.
Well, there's a thin lube and there's also the creamers.
That's but that's kind of number 3 too, though.
That's just a
Because you
dehydrated
said
woman.
Number 3.
That's still the number 3 category.
you said the lubricant. That's more like the water that's on top of
Does a woman
cottage
secrete a
cheese.
lubricant? I'm confused.
It's not a
Yes,
way
that's what the pre
situation.
stuff
It's
is.
it's like a water on top of the cottage
Like if
cheese.
a
No.
woman gets
No.
I call
aroused,
it
depends on the
sexy
woman.
spit.
well, you can
Number
have whatever sexy names you
It's
want
not,
for it,
but no, because she gobs that out.
What? Is number 6 glitter?
No, no.
I've had a
glitter
lot
is
of
not
glitter on.
natural.
it's that pork ramen noodle stuff. Pork
Yeah.
seasoning.
Oh yeah.
Now the heavy cream with the cunnilingus, that's a different category.
That comes from your mouth, though, man.
Yeah.
No. My
All right,
mouth
well,
does not taste that good.
I don't know how it works then.
I think it's a mixture between number 1
I've only been with
Number
one woman.
2.
What would I know?
and number 5.
Not
Maybe a
number
little
two.
number 4.
I don't know what 5 is.
I
still.
think it's just funk, and this is recycled shit that guys did back in the day, saying their natural musk would attract women.
Well, like if you went to a water park, like Schlitterbahn, and you wanted
which
to,
is where it got its name.
yeah, and you wanted to ride the water slide,
And not die?
you wouldn't ride it dry, right?
Well, maybe.
Well, I do.
Right.
I ride it dry.
You'd be like, you
sometimes.
gotta get it
No.
ready.
It's just-
Not unless like it was closed and like they said, "Hey, gates are closed." You
I
said, "I'm
stuck-
coming in anyways,"
Yep.
and then I'd still go for it.
See, but a woman doesn't like if you're like, I'm getting ready to get into your water slide. They're not like, oh, hold on, let me pee all over the slide for you. No,
Right.
Not like number 3 all over the slide for you.
no, but it's pre-3. It's
Yeah,
pre-3.
It's not
and then
pre-3. It's
it's just 3.
it's sexy sweat.
like 2.5. Well, not 2.5. It's
No, it's.
I don't think
definitely
they have like an extra faucet in there where it's like this one's going to be to get the slide ready, and then when for
I-
real excitement.
I do
disagree.
believe that is the case.
But then
I
I think
believe
that
that's
goes back
yes.
to the pee. Then
No.
then you hit the pee hole,
No,
and they're
No.
squirting.
I believe it's a glandular thing, bud.
I do
You're
believe
talking.
it's
You're
got-
only thinking holes, and we're talking glandular.
Yeah, but I don't think they have more than they got one sex gland that you're making excited for all of that.
Some of it is
But
thin
it might.
and some
Well,
of it
but
is
maybe
thick.
before it does, their pre is a watery substance, not a thick, not a
Wait a minute.
dauber.
You're saying they're kind of like a
Not a
poisonous
dauber.
frog where they can just tap into
Boom.
some,
Boom.
and shoot the poison out their
Yeah,
eyes.
when they need to get it moistened up before you're going to eat it.
They got bags
they-
of poison in there, but it's not poison.
It's not. It's little moisture glands.
You see,
Weird.
and I understand your confusion because you're used to like
Dry.
old school
Yeah.
burger joints for like, hey, you want any condiments? Yeah, what do you got? Ketchup, mustard, ketchup,
Yes.
and it's just ketchup, mustard.
Right. So book
And
says-
then, unexpectedly, you're done shopping at the wiener shops, and you go down the street and say, "I'm going to get some fish, some Long John Silvers.
Mhm.
What would you like for condiments?
And they
What do
mix
you
them.
got? Tartar sauce, that
Mayonnaise.
vinegar oil, shit,
Horseradish.
horseradish.
That's what
hot
that is.
sauce,
Their number 2 is a
malt
vinegar oil.
malt vinegar. That's what. Yeah,
Malt vinegar.
they got all those condiments. So it happens. You just don't really understand it.
You don't get it.
All you need is just one drop of hot
You're
sauce
maybe
on
not
that.
the
That's gonna be a
sexual
game
expert on
changer.
the show.
You don't
maybe
get it.
maybe it is. Maybe it is Mexico, like I've said all along.
Hot sauce.
He said glitter and hot sauce. I don't know if
That just might
you're
be
right.
where-
I'm not.
That might be where number 6 is glitter. Then we know that, right?
Get that Texas Pete on there.
Number 7 is magic.
I was taught sex ed by Mr. Moore, dude, and that guy could get down. He was,
They pee and they 3. That's it out of that one. Poo and 2 out of number of 2.
no, he was an older fella, dude. He'd been around. He's king of Pound Town, a couple divorces,
Yeah.
and he knew about
You want
making.
some more, honey?
We had a whole segment on squirters, dude, and
Well, no, I believe squirting is 3.
Yeah, that was S'mores Day. He brought in some
Or no,
s'mores.
it's pee. I mean,
I'm
sorry.
saying-
I believe squirting is pee. I don't believe that's 3.
You know, if
now that's confusing.
know,
now you're
women-
confusing.
but
me.
women are supposed to pee after they have sex.
Yeah.
So I
flush.
believe they do.
So if they
and it's
squirt,
slight
do they
do
still
it?
have to pee?
No, what I'm saying is
you're saying the
squirting
squirt
is
com-
the pee.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If squirting is a pee,
It's
do
not.
they have to pee after sex if they squirt?
And which one are they
No,
rubbing on their
because
neck?
That is them peeing.
It's two different holes.
But
See-
the squirting's not. That's just.
That's not pee.
That's pee.
No.
Your wife gave us a
Link.
Yeah.
Well, that's
If anybody wants to follow along,
I also
it's
think
GOOK at Homes.
See, maybe if you knew this better, you would get. See, your answers You're the least sexual
I don't know why
active
my
one here.
answer is bad. That they have a arousal at the beginning of
But-
something,
But
and
your-
then as
your
they get
lack
more
of an-
excited and they get to an
your
orgasm,
la-
that arousal.
But right when I get
starts
going with my
more-
girl, she's wet. Right when I get going.
That's
Right.
the
That's
stuff
a
I'm talking
different
about.
thing. That's
the-
that's just lube.
yes.
Thank you. That's the sheen. That's the sheen.
But when
That's the Charlie
whatever
Sheen.
you're saying, the gobs and gobs is just more of that lube. It's from the
No,
same area, same
no.
factory.
It might be, but it's a different secretion.
Your wife says that's how you get AIDS. You have to make sure you pee right after sex because it cleans up.
She
your
seems
urethra.
to be.
But wait a minute. But I'm not saying it's accurate. I'm just saying a lot of people say that when a female squirts, it's just pee.
Yeah, or soda pop.
So
squirt.
if they're peeing when they do that, do they have to pee afterwards? Or you're
You're
working
fine.
too hard.
Yeah, you're fine.
Well, I think that they should pee afterwards, regardless. Just
yeah.
because,
That's
just
just for
bedtime
fun.
usually,
I mean, just for
or assuming you're doing it at night.
It's good. I mean, it's a good plan.
Yeah, just to
My wife
flow it
always
out.
pees after sex immediately. Well, I think she goes to finish and then pees.
It sounds really weird when she pees. It's always.
Well, that's true.
weird.
I just don't know.
This pee's really come.
You done peeing in there? Almost.
I mean, I gotta change this up because it gets gross when we talk about this.
Can I
Oh,
tell you one thing
It
though?
was gross
Yeah.
already.
That
Sorry.
you brought this up today. It's great because I'm pretty sure I mostly convinced my boys that girls pee out of their butts this morning
Nice.
because
You
my
can
wife-
convince me at this point.
my wife was
I'm
saying
totally
something
confused.
about something, and the boys said, "Well, not girls because they pee out, from the backside or from the bottom or whatever." And
Yeah.
my wife was like, "No, they don't." And then me in the living room said, "Boys, stop it."
Yeah.
And I said, "Come here." They do. It's impolite to talk about it, so don't ever ask mom or another girl about it. But just trust me, girls pee out of their
Right,
butt.
and don't
butt.
ask.
You're
a-
the
I
uncle
said
that
great.
fucked me up when my uncle told me girls didn't poop. And man, and I was like 11 when I found out girls pooped, and that fucked me up.
Yeah.
Did you see a girl poop?
Just that.
She
Nothing
did-
else.
She said
Yeah,
it. I was
right.
dating
Nothing
a girl. I was dating a girl.
That
shit on
was
his
and I was
chest.
devastated. She said, "Oh, my stomach's been hurting. I think I got to poop." And I said,
Ha! You can't poop.
"I said, is that your first one?
Liar!
How do you do that? You don't even have a butthole." I
Mm.
was.
No.
Then
Sometimes
6
you grow up
months
with
later, I
sisters
found
and you
out-
know that girls poop because they
Yeah.
don't flush.
Well, I did have sisters, but
That's
my
one thing girls don't do.
my sisters didn't start until I was.
I did
about
that the other
10 or
day. It was an
11.
accident.
Let me.
Accident.
I'll try to.
I've walked in hundreds of my moms. I'm with you. She just, I was sure they were somebody else's.
Yeah, women get like they start doing their makeup and then they just leave that little,
Yeah, they poop before a shower and they don't want the hot water to get their shower going.
yeah, they leave.
So then they just get in the shower, leave it.
leave
I've
it
done
alone.
it a couple
Yeah,
times too. I've done
It
it.
happens to me all the time.
I've been a mistaken soldier leaver. You know,
Oh, God.
it's nobody's
It's
birthday,
Steve's
bro.
birthday.
But he's
They put
not.
it on Steve's computer.
Yeah.
I don't like
Oh.
vaginas. I think they're scary.
Steve,
Yeah.
if you want to watch it,
Well, I'm gonna try to.
youtube.com/watch B equals CGMKZY.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Or just go to email
MWO.
gookhomes at
Yep.
gmail.net. Go okay homes.
15-minute tutorial. Jeez.
Yeah, speed that up about the 10-minute interval, if you would, please.
Well, to try to pivot, to try to Jeremy pivot off of this topic,
He is one of my favorite basketball players. So.
I think that I had this idea, and I'm, because I'm kind of sick and tired of waste. Sometimes I feel like there's a lot of stuff that just gets wasted.
Yeah.
Okay,
Throwaway
you weren't talking about
society.
nuclear. Okay,
Not nuclear waste,
okay.
just stuff that gets thrown aside. And this all kind of ties into it. Okay, I was listening to somebody tell a sad story about wanting to get a dog and all this, but they didn't have the room in their apartment or couldn't have it or something. But they went and they would go visit or volunteer at the Humane Society and all this different stuff. And at the Humane Society, I don't know how long a dog's stay is that they get to stay in the cages before they're like, sorry, nobody wants you, and then
The country won't take you. You have to go
Yeah.
back home.
throw them in the burn pit or whatever. And there's a lot of heroes that will,
Could be 2 weeks, could be 10 months. You never know.
Yeah.
No.
It's
And
the
I-
same with the border policy.
and it probably depends on, and this could fix that too, bud. So this could be
Okay.
both things.
Well, I'm listening. I'm always in for.
So I'm always looking for like a solution because it seems like a damn shame that you got to.
usually cause more problems with them, but
Cole, hear me out.
Okay.
You got all these
That
dogs
was
that
mean, I'm sorry.
are unwanted. Even if they're wanted, that just can't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the people that want them don't have the room. That there's just so many dogs, lots of dogs. I hear about it from the Kansas Humane Society. I got to imagine Kansas is pretty small in comparison to a lot of states with
Right.
maybe a lot more dogs.
Yeah.
You know, so there's humane societies in different counties. They're all over the state. They're all
There
over
are
every
multiple
state.
humane societies.
Yeah, they're
yes.
all over the country.
Not just the one here.
And so if you probably looked up the statistics, the amount of dogs that get put down that are healthy dogs at humane societies across the country, it's probably in the hundreds of thousands every year.
Right.
Without a doubt. Maybe even a million.
Maybe even 1 million dogs get put down that are healthy, but for whatever
I
reason.
think PETA puts down like 2 million a year.
And PETA, yeah. So you got to, let's just say it's 1 million for the sake of conversation. 1 million dogs that are healthy get put down every year because they don't have a home. Now, when they get put down, they're either how they dispose of them with biomedical waste or if they're incinerated or whatever they do. I'm sure they do it humanely, and that's great. But that's such an American thing to do, because in the majority of other countries, those dogs aren't going to be used as little man's best friends. They're going to be used as food, and not only just sustenance, maybe even a delicacy.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't these humane societies teaming up, have it be like humane, like the AMW's and a Long John Silver's mixture restaurant, humane society and a Taiwanese restaurant mixed? And so as these dogs, they sit there. If you want this beautiful little dog, this golden retriever, his name is Jack. He's been here for 3 months and he's good with kids. He's a little bit older, but he's healthy. He's had all his shots, and everybody keeps walking by Jack. Well, Jack, it's been 3 months. Take him by the collar, take him right over next door, hit him with the dart, the kill dart, hand him over to the Taiwanese, and now delicious food. We're eating Jack, or somebody is.
Right.
What is wrong with that? How is that less humane?
You're asking me to figure out what's. I see nothing
Well,
wrong with
I was asking both, but they're watching.
No,
It's black
No,
guy.
I'm listening.
I
just
see-
don't
I
wanna
see
hear
nothing
about
wrong with
dog-
I have nothing wrong with. I don't. Who has a problem? Who have you ran into
that has a problem with it? The whole
Yeah.
country. We don't do it.
I would have no problem
I
if
think they would do. I mean, I think they'd have no problem with it. I don't think anybody would have a
There
problem.
was a family in our town that ate dogs, and they were outcasts. So I'll just say that.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal. Like if you were to, they'd say
I think
it's,
it is.
it's cruelty to animals.
Is it really?
Well,
You
it
think it is?
depends on how they're prepared.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry to just kill a healthy dog. I think you get in trouble if you just kill your dog.
Well, that's the truth. I
But
I
that,
don't
what I'm
agree
saying
with-
is, they're going to kill this dog. It
Yes.
doesn't matter.
no, I know that. What I'm saying is I think there should be a
Well, why
law
don't we
with
eat
me.
people then?
I think there should be a law with me going and killing Casey's dog and his and then
Right.
cooking
Yes, I do too.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if Humane Society
Is going to
I
kill
mean,
this dog, then
I'm
why
with
aren't we using it as food?
And I know this isn't what you're saying. I'm just trying to strengthen my resolve and being fine with this. I'd be fine if there were dog ranchers that did nothing but raise
Raise
herds
dogs.
of dogs for the fucking
Yeah, they do.
dog market.
Well,
Dog does not taste good.
that's
Goat.
to you.
A lot of the
Goat
shit we eat
tastes
don't
good.
taste good.
But that's, I mean, that's to you. I don't like goat. I don't like goat's milk. I don't like goat cheese.
Well, I
likes
don't like
mother's milk.
McDonald's
He
either.
likes
and I like
mother's milk,
McDonald's.
but he's from a broken home.
What I'm saying is, it's okay if you don't eat dog. What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
why are we not having it? If they're going to kill a healthy dog, why are we just throwing it in an incinerator and not using it for all of the hungry people? Hand it out to the homeless, dude.
Yeah.
Doggy bags it's called doggy bags for a reason. Doggy bags for the homeless.
I'll take it one step further, Conrad. Pretend you're a person that would not want humans to eat that. Would you want humans to eat that stuff?
No, I don't.
Okay. We'll make the same food, but we're going to feed it to the dogs that are living at the Humane Society still. They just feed the cycle, man.
Oh, you're right, dude. Just
You
feed the
can't-
dogs.
You
with
can't
it.
feed dogs to dogs
Why not? It's meat.
because they'll get the hippie shakes. That's what happens with cannibalism.
No, not if you.
It happens with
if you-
humans.
if
It
you eat
happens
raw-
with cows.
raw.
It's-
Pigs do it.
raw, but Louis Pasteur
Right.
did the heat thing. So we'll
Thank
just
you.
cook it all the way to 180
you-
degrees.
Right. You don't throw it's a raw dog in there.
Yeah, you don't
It's a
just
raw
slap
dog in
a ham hock on there.
Yeah, that's how they got raw dog in it. That's where they got raw dog in it
That's
from.
true. I've heard that.
I mean, it could be. You could have like a little.
Casey,
little
Google
walking
countries
ramp.
that eat dogs.
walking ramp up to
Vietnam.
China.
They're
a
here.
a big boiling vat. Doggy goes in, boil, boil, boil. It fills up, flows down the trough on the other side, and it just kind of feeds the whole circle within the Humane Society.
Like
They
a-
eat the dog soup.
Like a doggy soup. Yeah,
Yeah,
doggy
it keeps
sauce.
them. It keeps them alive until they can die and feed the next batch.
In the 21st century, the only countries openly consuming dog are South Korea, China,
Ally. Not
Nicaragua,
ally.
Switzerland, and Vietnam.
Switzerland.
Trade them for the
Swiss?
chocolate. All the Toblerone is now no more tariffs.
Right.
We're getting Toblerone tariff free. We're sending them our unwanted dogs. And if all the people have problems with it, then you go adopt the dog. We
Yeah.
don't want to do this. We don't want
Right.
to ship them to
No,
Switzerland,
we do not.
but they're dying or they're going to
The
Switzerland.
dog most commonly used for meat in South Korea
Great
is
Dane.
known as yellow dog.
That's a
Um,
golden retriever.
Yeah. It's easy.
God, that hurts worse
see,
when you say that. Yellow
a
dog hits
Vietnamese-
me. I was just thinking of a big dumb.
That's why we call them yellow belly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whose has a song that's called Yellow Belly?
Dog
That's-
meat is most
Oh, it's
commonly
Pearl Jam.
compared to beef or mutton by those who have tried it. For example, the UK politician tried it. I don't know.
Boris, yeah, he had it.
Yeltsin.
And maybe you cut it. You cut it into your beef. What type of beef is that? 80-20?
Yep.
No, it's 70-20-10. What?
Oh yeah,
70 beef, 20 dog, 10 fat.
it's
Enjoy it.
it's actually pretty good. It's you know what I mean.
And if you don't, like you said, if you don't eat it, somebody else will. Do you like chicken feet?
There's
No,
lots of
but they
things I
sell
don't
them.
like. Oh
Hey.
yeah,
Eric, not one problem with your theory there. I think they should sell it 80-20-20. Give the little extra.
and
You know
you
what I mean?
get oh man,
Oh.
you get the
Huh?
Swiss. Look how
Same price. Same price.
Yeah.
Just 80-20-20.
the countries
that.
that
Yeah.
They get that Mad Dog 20.
Casey named, with aside from Nicaragua.
Well, easy.
It's a tough word to
Yeah,
say.
I know.
I
It's
said it
easy with
cleanly,
it.
by the
Yeah.
way.
Nicaragua.
I've been
Well, I know,
practicing my reading.
promise I got an accent, but aside from Nicaragua, Swiss, that's a time. That's a Swiss time, man. Those guys are sharp.
They're on it.
They're sharp.
I drove.
You know
with-
why? It's clarity, baby.
You know what they have?
It's clarity.
They have two things that nobody has: time and money.
Yep.
They got the banks and they got the watches.
You know what else
And
they
you know
had?
why? Doggy chops.
They had
Yeah.
Volvo because I took a little ride in
Swiss Army knife.
in the Wolf of Park City's
Volvo.
Volvo. Let me tell you what, he was bragging on. He said, "Hey, I'll tell you this: Swiss still built these, except for Ford. I'd buy another one.
And that's coming from the wolf,
That's
dude.
coming from the Wolf of Park City. So
I actually did a marketing thing on consuming dogs in high school,
Yeah.
and it was great, but I flunked. They gave me an F on it. They were very mad at me.
but why? You should sue them.
Made a bad report. Did you do a good job?
No, it was
You
an
didn't
art
try.
class. I literally had
An
to come
art
up with a
class?
marketing scheme and build the package, and it was me and
Steve
Hay,
Wachowski.
Josh Hay, I think was his
Hay?
name.
Yeah.
Something like that. And we made a can, and it was poodles and noodles. And then we made a tube, like the cookie thing that cookie dough.
Oh yeah.
The Toll's House.
Yeah.
The tube. It was a tube, and it was just Tubo dog.
That's
Love that.
that's
and
a
we got
great
Fs.
idea.
Yeah.
Fs.
F's.
That's Catholicism
I
for you,
know.
dude.
She wasn't even a nun. I don't think she was qualified to grade.
I want none of your grades,
No.
biatch.
None is what you got. None in the morning, none in the evening, and none in the afternoon.
I'm tired. Like I don't understand. When you're the ultimate solution, which is the ultimate, we just kill them. How is that more humane than feeding people that do actually eat this from their home countries? There's
Or want to,
Nicaraguans
or
here,
want to.
or there's Chinese people here. There's South Korean people here.
I'm saying that if I went to pick up a little bit of 80-20-20 from the local markets right next
It's
to it,
$6 cheaper. That's one thing too. Make it $10 a 10-pound roll. Guess
You
what? All the
can-
people that said they weren't going to eat dog, they're going to be eating dog.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you this:
They're going to be eating dog.
two choices right here. Would you rather eat whatever the kind of dehydrated beef food,
Mhm.
processed food that Taco Bell's, or would you rather it fresh right from the local?
Oh,
I
Humane
loved
Society.
this thing. Had a family. It was
Mm.
petted every
Taco
day.
Bell.
And
There ain't
by the
no,
way,
there ain't no choice. I'd be getting the 80
This is a grass-fed dog.
it could be.
Hey,
You could get it from a
My,
great
hey,
home.
all my dogs eat grass.
Mhm.
All right. What we need to do,
Farm
you
to
know,
table dog,
I-
dude.
I-
Coach, how many
I hate-
pellet guns you have? because we're gonna have to go over to Oak Lawn and just clean it up.
We don't want those dogs. Those are
No.
street dogs.
Yep.
Yeah,
We don't
they're gonna be
Nope.
delicious.
Nope.
But
they've
they
been
would be
eating trash.
available. So lower socioeconomic
Lean.
classes, they got two things. They got rampant
Yeah,
feral dogs running everywhere
Yeah.
and hunger.
that's true.
Problem solved.
They're literally living in the cure for hunger.
And Casey, to answer your point earlier, yes, there are people in cages on the border, and
We should eat them too.
that's what I
I'm
mean.
going hungry.
Let's Google what countries eat people, and if nobody wants
I
to
think it's
accept these people,
Nicaragua and Cambodia. I think.
if we're putting them in,
I was talking about more like when your grandparents die, instead of fucking grinding them up, or your dad or something. You
But
cook
if
them
they
for
died
the Last
of-
Supper.
Seasoning.
We
We could
don't,
dry them
though.
out and get seasoning
we cut
out
their
of 'em.
body parts out that are still good
And
if they're
sell 'em.
donors, and we send them to people that need these body parts. We don't do that with dogs. We don't harvest all these
Well,
dog
but we
organs
could
and
still
we
use
throw them in
their
a fire. We
Well,
could.
I mean-
I don't care if that's what we want to do is eat it. If it's a fresh, if it's good.
I'm just
if the
saying, if
doctor
we're
can
gonna
look at it
not
and be like,
waste
this is,
anything, yeah.
yeah. There might be.
Legs and shit.
But once again, even if we don't eat it, it's it's
Now we
nature.
give them to
It's,
dogs. We
it's a big
eat dog and
circle.
Well,
dogs
feed
eat
it to the
us.
ocean or feed it to whatever would want to eat human meat.
Dolphins.
chop it up. Stop spending city
Fucking
money
sharks,
on
we know
duck
they love
feed and
it.
chop
Love
it up
it.
real fine and feed it to the ducks in the
And we
city
could
parks.
use,
Yeah.
we could
Yeah.
feed your well farm with human meat. Fucking use that fucking human
Now
meat.
he's thinking.
See,
He's
now you're
came
thinking,
around.
dude.
Now you're thinking.
But I'm not in on the dog.
And then South
thing.
Koreans, how strong they'll be with so many dogs
And can you
It's so
think of
much
how
to
many?
whale.
get those whales.
You could have one or two birthing pair on your ranch. Give them some fertility. I mean, dogs have like 12 puppies anyways.
Yeah.
You give
Oh,
them some
yeah.
fertility drugs.
Oh,
You're
but
getting
now
30,
you're-
40.
Now you're playing God. I was trying to eliminate the waste. Now you got a real American with it. Wait a minute. We can
Hold
have
on
more
now.
dogs.
I just cooking.
We have too many
And
dogs
the
right
little
now, as it is.
puppies are red.
And I think it's a shame that we have too many
I
dogs.
agree, Casey. Now wait a minute. There have to be laws about this. If they go to the Humane Society, get picked up, you got to leave them there for whatever they say,
Whatever.
a couple 3 months or
Yes.
whatever, because somebody might be missing a dog. You got a chance to go over there and get that dog. Or hey, if you're not missing it, it's just a rando dog.
Yeah.
Go adopt it. Get out there and save them.
I say we just let it go in the woods. Let it go in the wild. Let it have a chance.
You
That's my
cannot.
new thing.
That's
no,
ridiculous.
You
Yep.
do not say that.
A
because
domestic dog in the woods?
Yep.
You nope.
That's my new thing.
No, no. And I'll tell you why.
Let
is
all the
because
prisoners go.
there is a
Yes.
problem. There's a
Let all
problem
the
with little
prisoners
feral
go.
dogs down in Oklahoma, and I'm gonna tell you what. Fishermen have been known to shoot them. Have to shoot them to get back to the truck.
Yeah.
They're even meaner than the coyotes
Oh yeah,
out there.
they get
Coyotes
that,
will
they
run
get a
away.
pack.
Oh, they get a pack and they stay in that pack
Yeah,
and they won't
Coyotes
mess you
are
up,
scared.
dude.
Dogs are not.
Dogs will rip you apart. Coyotes, they don't care. They don't. They just stay away from you.
If we
And they're dogs.
if you want to use the dogs, what would your thoughts be? Not necessarily eating them,
Think of it as
What
zombie
about-
dogs.
burning them for heat in the Humane Society. So people go in and walk in
Oh,
in the
yeah.
middle of winter, like, ooh, it's nice.
It's nice.
How much do you guys
It's
pay
a-
for heating? It's a huge
Nothing.
facility.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
No, had a good month last year. Killed a lot of dogs.
Really good. Fire.
Nice and warm.
I wouldn't mind finding
at our
it,
furnace.
if it's not for food,
Smell that oaky smell?
finding another way
That's our mesquite
to
dog.
use the remains of these things that we're just throwing in the ground.
We just fed a mesquite.
And we've done it with humans, like we said. It's
Check out the jacket.
We may have pushed Casey over the edge. He's a dog lover.
Well, I am too. I've got 4.
Well, he's a bigger dog lover, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
You
he's
love
not
your
wearing
dogs.
a
I
dog.
love my dogs.
He's not wearing a dog skin vest.
I'm just, to me, it's an issue to be like, these were perfectly fine, but nobody wanted them. So if we did that with, what we do with humans is we let them, nobody wants them. They go through foster homes,
Right.
get molested. Then when they're 16, we throw them on the streets and let them continue the cycle.
Right. And then they go shoot up a school.
Right.
Or go stab a school.
Yeah.
Or go run the car through a school. So that's what happens to humans. I don't want dogs driving.
No,
I'm just going to throw that out there. Okay. I'm trying to nip the bud, bud.
They don't have thumbs.
Next thing you know,
I
I'm
don't know.
subsidizing their lessons.
That's it.
it's confusing because it's such a, people will put their own situation into it. It's such a relatable scenario because you think of your own dog and you go, I could never imagine. It's like, yeah, but right now, as you're loving your dog and hugging it, and they're all 4 of you are sitting on the couch, there's 60 of them sitting in a cage getting ready to die legally and supposedly humanely, and then we just throw them away. So I hate to break it. This is happening regardless of how we feel about it. So is there a way we can utilize their bodies after?
Yeah.
Which brings me to, I'm with humans, why aren't we stuffing humans more.
Because we have a soul.
I am on page with you
Because I get mad at going to a hunting lodge, seeing this beautiful animal that died for a human's like sport. You know what I mean? And maybe to feed the human, it's a reminder of how much meat that fed the family, and this is the head that we couldn't eat, so we put it on the wall. Maybe I want my family to have a reminder of who purchased this crappy house, you know?
Right. Who stayed
that
here?
was-
Just have stuffed dad standing out of the wall.
That was Conrad. He's over there in the corner.
Like, screw wax figures. We don't need wax figures. We have figures. Put his glasses on him, take him out of that cardboard box, and sit him there in the movie theater. That's a
There he
great
is.
film, Macaulay Culkin.
I'm sorry to bring this to reality, but when you did that, would you stuff their old body? Because it's just you're putting it over a mold and they're stretching the skin, or would you stuff them as their young, virile
hmm
28-year-old?
I think that maybe there's a doctor now that can do some makeup work or something to make an older body look
But
Oh, I'm
as
sure
the
they could.
family wants it to be remembered.
I'm
tell
sure
ya-
they could. They could stretch the skin
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Let me
But
tell
would
ya-
you want that?
let me tell you this: happy birthday to Steve tomorrow, and maybe you didn't see this, but they reincarnated Harry Carey to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game"
Yeah,
in Chicago.
with holograms.
It wasn't actually in Chicago; it was Field of Dreams.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
with the Field of Dreams.
But it was a holograms.
Holograms. Yeah.
Why aren't we doing that? I mean, they already have it. We just hologram them, dude.
Well, I just thought it'd be kind of cool.
And by the way, it wasn't Harry Carey. I've never seen Harry Carey. I've been alive on this planet for 80 years. I've never seen Harry Carey look like that.
You've never.
So, he was a drunk.
The
He
Coke,
looked great
Coke
in the
bottle
thing.
Oh,
glasses.
he looked great, but he looked nothing like Harry Carey.
No, that's the problem with holograms, though. I
They
think
can never get it right.
they can't get it
The
right.
only
I
one they
think-
can get right is the Pope. That one time where he just faded away. He was
Well, they're
out
just
there,
trying to be nice.
and then all of a sudden he just disappeared.
He moonwalked out of here, dude.
Yeah.
If
I-
people would stop being nice and just be honest about it, it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, he was great, but he was fucking ugly.
Oh, Harry Carey?
Oh, yeah.
or
That's
the
quite
Pope?
Horrible racist.
Oh, Harry Carey?
Harry Carey.
Oh, yeah. Pope
Oh, the
was.
Pope was racist. Yeah, for sure. Well, not yeah. The
Are you
last
talking
one.
about JP2?
Which one?
Not JP2. JP2 was in with Flynn. But
Yeah.
my thing is, yeah, Harry Carey. He had a face for radio, and that's where he stayed. So God bless
Yes.
him. So my thing is I understand TV came around, and you had to maybe go up in the booth. You didn't have to, but you did
Yeah, the thrill is gone once you do that, though.
for sure. And I don't understand why they would do a hologram. I mean, I understand. Just play it.
And-
we've got him recorded
Right,
singing it.
just
Just
play
play
it.
that.
Mhm.
Shut up.
Harry-
Put those huge glasses or the ones like on the counter in front of the microphone and just
And
play,
play
his
it,
deal.
yeah.
We don't need a hologram.
Nobody's
I don't
watching
wanna-
anyways. They're all just looking at their phone.
No one cares. No one cares. By
He
the way.
was the original Adele.
Yeah,
It's that
that's-
that
that's true.
smooth,
Oh, he was he
buttery,
was
yet
vapping,
gravelly voice.
Yeah.
badging.
But then they saw him like, oh,
Oh,
he's so
no.
unattractive.
Right.
He shouldn't sound that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the first.
But
one where
Harry Carey
somebody-
was always a little fat, and the hologram was not. Maybe they had to pay by the pound or something on the hologram. I have no idea. Because
I
the
love it.
hologram was
I love it.
it was pretty thin.
Don't you think it should be an
About a
option,
pound per
though?
eye.
Like,
Here, I'll see if I can find it. 'Cause
in
he
your
did not
last-
look like hologram Harry Carey. Did you see that today? I was drinking my
But
coffee.
Harry Carey back in the day was a thinner society, so he looked fat.
I
compared to
don't
everybody
know,
else.
man.
Nowadays,
I never saw a thin Harry Carey, dude.
I
Nowadays
don't
he
think
could
he
be
was
an old
fat. I
Navy
just don't
model.
think he was in shape.
and he wore suspenders that made him look
Yeah, I
fatter.
think he was.
And those big glasses.
You
Mhm.
just compared him to Larry King because they're the only two guys you knew that wore suspenders.
No, they're both
And
big
yes, he
Harry.
was huge compared to
Sure,
fucking-
there, boy. Yeah.
Shit.
Well, now overseas in England, they charge a pound per ounce.
What sports do they play in Switzerland? You think? Do they play a regular
Switzerland?
sports?
I'm sure they curling.
They
I
do
bet.
bobsledding.
Football, soccer,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
I mean, you guys tell me.
A lot of those
I got it right
eating
here.
events.
A lot of the
What's
Nordic,
that dumb
Nordic
baseball?
events.
Remember that dumb baseball?
That-
They'll-
That
Cricket?
field. That's the
Cricket.
field of
Cricket.
dreams.
Talking about
Field of
softball?
dreams, guy. Look at the corn out there. See? Now look up there. Oh, what? Who is that now? That's Harry Carey.
He does look good, though.
I don't think he's fat.
He looks Puerto Rican.
He does not look like Harry Carey.
Who's that? That looks Puerto Rican.
He
That
is.
sounds
Oh.
racist.
I mean,
Dominican.
he's up there. Everybody's looking and taking video. Actually, no one in the crowd's looking. They don't know what's going on. They saw it when they got home. But he doesn't look like Harry. I've never seen. Look, they got the back.
They even
Well, that's him at
holographed
the
his
end of his
back.
life.
A hologram? Is that a hologram always got the back on it?
I guess.
Or maybe they had like a stunt double film in the back.
It's just some actor.
No,
they
they
said
do
it's
that.
a
They have one
hologram,
of
and
those.
everybody's
They have
freaking
a
out like, "Oh my
Obama
God,
one,
they
they
made this
have-
happen." It's like, no, you didn't. It's just an
Yeah.
actor.
Well, it was William Shatner.
That was Steve. Do me a favor. Get that hologram of Harry Carey and put Conrad's face on it. That's perfect. With just him clapping with the
They
microphone.
thinned him out except
Look
for
at
those,
this thing.
except for those hands. They still gave him the sausage fingers.
Well, yeah, of course. It's all. But I mean, that is spooky, dude.
And that's
Well,
the best
that
I've
is-
ever seen his hair.
Tell me that's
Any
not
picture?
spooky. Look at that.
Look at that crowd, dude. There is not a dark face in that crowd.
No.
That's exclusively
Yeah, that's
Cabela's.
That's why people like baseball, like Steve. It's
pathetic.
because they are most racist people in
baseball.
the world. Yes.
No way.
Baseball fans, not baseball players. Baseball fans.
We love this city.
I mean, his teeth is off. His teeth move, guy.
His mic bounces when he claps.
See, that looks nothing like him. Now, there you go. If you want to do that, no one would recognize him, but he never
Young.
looked like that.
I don't know.
Watch his mouth.
It ain't bad.
Oh,
Oscar from The
But-
Office.
Out of all those people there, there's
Nailed it.
probably 3 that actually saw him in person at some point in time in their life. So everybody else just goes, "Hey, it's an old guy that sings a song, sounds like that, and wears
Right.
black glasses.
he's never
Must
been
be
that.
Harry Carey."
Never been that.
They have a general idea what he looked at like, so
Yeah.
they didn't even have to do that good.
No.
'Cause
They
it's-
they just put his glasses on him.
we're
Put his
all in the
glasses
same
on.
boat where we'd have to be Casey pulling up a picture to see
For
what-
sure.
does that actor even look like him?
No, not at all. That's what I'm saying. You say that's Harry Carey. He's got his glasses on him, but that ain't Harry Carey, dude.
My question is, if we can get
Not at
holograms
all.
that
Looks more
look
like
this
Jim Neighbors.
this good, regardless if it's as accurate as it has to be, why aren't we just hologramming our leaders?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they are.
what does it matter? Why don't we pick like unanimously or vote on it who we think the best looking combination of everything is,
Tom,
and we
Are
make
we
a
gonna- are we gonna
hologram
do pick 3 politics?
of it, and the people's opinion, or the people that are in Congress that are supposedly speaking for the people and voting on these things,
Well, you're with the rest of the fans. They don't like it.
they
Thank
didn't
you.
like it either.
Thank you. It's just spooky.
You just put like, what is if it can be female? I mean, whoever we're electing, we say, what do we want to have as our hologram this year? Let's do female 51%, whatever it is. It's just a democratic vote across the board, and then we build the votes on what do we want the skin to be, what do we want this, what do we want the pronouns to be, everybody clicks in all this stuff, and they put it in a big algorithm, and they spit out what the end is, and that's our person that we send. We just send a little tablet that shoots them up into a meeting when they go over to Switzerland to talk about global warming or whatever the hell they're talking about.
Well, you'd have to have mentality-wise. You'd have to
It
have
would always be
AI.
Harry Carey, by the way.
You'd have to have a brain associated with this. You'd have to have somebody controlling what he or she says.
But their answers are based on what information they're getting now anyways. They get all this feedback from, here's where we have to go, here's where the popular opinion is, here's where the votes came in at on this subject. And so it's what they have anyways on they're holding a piece of paper saying, this is what I believe in. I mean, none of these politicians have ever really believed in anything, because they change even between elections what they believed in. They could say, I'm for traditional marriage, and the next time they ran, I'm from gay marriage. I mean, they'll change it if the whole opinion of the country sways. They'll change to stay on the winning end of that opinion. So we just do that with our hologram. Do we want prisoners in Guantanamo Bay?
Yes.
Right now, we don't.
No.
So the hologram says no. And then next
What's the
year,
right
yeah,
one?
we do. Because
Change the hologram.
for whatever reason, and a terrorist attack happened, and so now we want Guantanamo Bay. So that hologram says that.
And for fun, a lot of younger adults could get together and pull a GameStop or AMC stock situation and say, hey, let's mess with them. And let's all vote that we hate Mexicans. We'll
Right.
make the president say we hate Mexicans for like 2 days. And then we'll switch back.
Yeah, we'll go back.
I just think that's, I mean, it's
Oh.
basically how they rule now. It's just whatever they feel is the next thing to get them elected again, they are for.
I want a lady president, and I always wanted to be vaping. Vapping.
Vaping, yeah.
Sorry. And vaping.
Yeah, but that may get it. You just throw it in your.
I will.
You fill out your
that's-
sheet.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that
Female.
would definitely explain the laughter.
I don't know. What does it? I mean, then you can set it up. Everybody has the app, the president app on their phone. You want to talk to the president about an issue, you just click it. Hologram shoots up. He's right there in your living room.
Yeah.
And you say, "Hey, what are we doing with school choice?" And he's just got this whole algorithm of all the information from all the states that pop in. well, school choice is bad for whatever reasons, and he spits out some narrative. Okay,
I just
Fine.
entered, guys.
Yeah, and if we want
Weird.
if we want to encourage our youths, we could have for certain demographics their own president. I mean, we could have at the reservations, we could have a Native American president of the United States.
Great idea.
In New Hampshire, we could have a woman.
Yeah, great idea.
In Detroit, we could have
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yeah.
exactly.
Or Detroit
And
Lions
so every
quarterback.
one of those kids could go, "Wow, I could be president someday."
Yeah.
My likeness could.
In Chicago, Harry Carey. They already have a hologram for him.
Seattle,
Or you
a guy
take
like
that
Casey.
out. Like, you can never be president because the president will always just be a digital reflection of people's desires and what they want a leader to be. And it'll all be mushed together, and ultimately you just have the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, just like a old '70s sci-fi, was just a green,
Just a green
screen with
head.
an orb
Floats
floating around.
around.
Yeah,
It'd be awesome.
And if I
I've got
were the king,
I've got an idea for
Of the
holograms, holograms.
not putting
Holograms.
Jim and the
Not
holograms.
too
Right, great. Was a great cartoon.
My hologram would be hologram.
Nice.
Yes.
But you know
Heathergram.
how when they do CGI, they wear the little ping pongs all over them. No,
Yeah,
they
dude.
create a character and they do the motion, make that. Okay.
You look so stupid when you do that, too.
Right.
But why hasn't the WNBA entertained the idea, dressing up all those cloven hooved women with that stuff, and then CGI really attractive women playing basketball? You want to see WNBA ratings go up?
Or do them as avatars.
You do, or avatars.
That'd be fucking badass.
Or
Anything you want.
Yeah, or the little Japanese characers everybody likes so bad.
Yeah.
What if you could
anime?
select it? You're right, dude. You could put, if you put those suits on WNBA players, but on any sport. Put them on any sport.
Right.
Well, they're good enough. I mean, I'm just trying to get. I'm trying to
Maybe
support women.
soccer.
Because you're right, dude. It would be so fun to. I would watch the NBA if they're playing like as bats versus lizards or something.
Or if it was like the '80s A team with B.A. Baracus.
Oh my God.
Murdoch, all those guys
Spaceman.
playing against
Hannibal.
Battlestar Galactica cast.
Dude, this is actually a really great idea. Because they already have it. Johnny Manziel, noted drunk and ex-NFLer.
Right.
He started a league with who was that guy? That
China
Chad
wrestler.
Johnson? No, Des Bryant. I think it's Des Bryant.
Des
Ocho Cinco?
Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens.
The fan
League where
controlled league.
Oh, T.O.
T.O. and Johnny Manziel get all these washed up
That's my
NFL players and
Yeah.
college, that didn't make it. And they started this league where you sit there and fans choose the plays like a Madden. So just whatever the most popular choice was.
Sure.
But if you had them wearing all those little balls and you were watching it on your screen and it was able to manipulate it in a way where you get to, it's who you want to be the players are, because it doesn't really matter at that point. It could be Johnny Manziel, but it could be Johnny Manziel 7 foot tall. It doesn't matter because you wanted your quarterback to be that.
Mine would just be dicks.
Yeah.
Or wieners out there playing. It'd be hilarious. And then people could cut that up in their own, for their own use creatively.
Oh, I'd use it. I'd use it creatively.
Wiener cream.
Yeah, I love it. And
we should be pitching this to Johnny
You should
Manziel.
have
Bring
the
a six-pack.
actual women. If you did
Well, we
WNBA
get
actually
drunk, we'll
playing
get
the
this bitch
games,
sold.
and you're not doing the plays. You're not fluff up their abilities. You're just tracking what they're doing. So like you could make yourself an avatar, and you're like, hey,
that's me playing.
I'm scoring 50 a night on WNBA.
But if you made the WNBA
watchable,
like babies, then their skills would look like it'd be more impressive. Like
amazing, be hilarious.
33-year-old babies
can pass, dude.
They can really pass.
Yeah, a lot of them can.
They got
pass.
decent really decent layups for a 3-year-old baby.
That baby can.
That baby can shoot free throws like nobody's business.
I'd turn at least one of them into like a 1950s Kentucky University basketball team. There's a whole bunch of skinny white dudes with nut cutter shorts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Chuck Taylors.
That none of them ever dribble between their legs.
No.
It's all right hand dribbling.
Yep.
Well, but I mean, you couldn't control that though, guys.
talking about the movie Hoosiers?
No, but basically
true.
the WNBA has the same physical skill sets of a 60.
But they do dribble.
But they can do a dribble between their legs. They vap. But the
They
thing
vap.
is,
Well, so did Pistol Pete.
Yeah, he did too. He bapped hard.
He bapped the
Yeah.
What would would it be a cap if you were
Pistol
doing it to
Pete were known
yourself?
for two
If a
things:
guy-
long socks and vapping.
What would that be?
what do you mean a cap? What do you mean?
C
if we
word
were
stands
putting
for a
cum on
lock.
our,
Yeah.
if we were
Like the
rubbing cum on
capping?
your face. That's just called a Tuesday, dude. That's
Yeah.
just
That's just
Well, I
sunblock.
wasn't thinking to get the number 3. Not to bring it all the way back up.
Well, I was
if you're
talking
gonna
about
cap
using
it,
the
you're just gonna go
pre.
from
I was
the
talking about using the
underside.
pre stuff like girls do.
If you just wait a couple days, you can.
Just go from the underside.
I'm
about
telling you,
halfway
if you
through the
had
day.
all the WNBA teams dressed up like the Pokemon,
Well, that's swapping.
Pokemon and
That's
women,
different.
Yes.
and then have them just play, that's a league in itself, the Pokemon League. And I mean, you
See, but
could,
the cool thing is you don't predict the
think you do it the
outcome of the
opposite.
game,
You
just
do-
like the
of course
WNBA.
not.
But you make it watchable. You make
Yeah.
this product
Yeah.
that
Oh,
they've
you're talking
tried.
about actually creating this. I was just talking about throwing it over the top of, like
Well-
they're
well,
while
right,
they're
it is.
playing.
It is.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. You
yeah.
can't predict the game or
Yeah.
the sport.
Or
the
how
rules,
much they
It's
score.
the same season, the same league, the
but
same
now
same,
you've
same
made
teams.
it entertaining by letting
But I think the teams
consumers
at the beginning of the year
customize
it should
it.
be field control, fan controlled, where like you become like a team owner and like then you are the avatars or you're the Pokemon or enough people buy into that so
Mhm.
that at least through the year so you can get to know your Pokemon.
right.
You know, I might not know who Lisa Leslie is,
See,
but
but
I'd
if-
really like to fucking keep up with Pikachu's
Yeah,
stats
for
Yeah.
sure.
because it's going to be hard to keep up with because that fans like me, you
Right.
want to know that Marino was throwing for those
But dude,
touchdowns. And if
dog.
it was a different guy every time.
Yeah, but
So whether it's Manziel or whatever it is on that team, it needs to be
the same skin for
Yeah, like-
everybody to watch. Then it's the
well, yeah,
same
because
thing.
my NFL team's the announcer. Well, yeah, but again, it'd be funny. I'd watch avatars. Like I think that
Yeah.
was the point of what.
Yeah.
I guess you could change
what
it.
if there
If your
was-
avatar is extremely attractive women,
Yeah, or like that football girls league.
Well,
was.
say the WNBA, you logged in to watch this on your TV because it's all internet connected, and that's the
So
way you
then
want
at
to watch
least
it.
can they go by numbers
So
so you
then-
can keep track of?
Yeah,
I'm a
you'd
stats
have
guy.
to have the numbers. Or
numbers,
you know
the name would
you know the name.
It'd still say Griner on the back.
No, I
well,
don't
not
want-
her, but it'd say one that's not. In
Well,
prison.
Russia's
Yeah.
jersey would say.
Yeah.
Russia just signed.
I'm
her
trying to think of another WNBA.
Lisa Leslie.
Leslie.
She's
I knew there was a
retired. She's
Lisa.
retired.
Yeah, she retired
Lisa
like 100 years
Lobo.
ago. But
Skylar
I
Diggins.
think that if you got to select, and maybe they only have 20 different skins to choose from,
Right.
you know what I mean? But then you could
Easy,
say that the
easy.
most popular one, the most people watched was the Avatar one, you know, or the most, and then for the
I just think it'd be great
championship,
if,
they did put the two most popular. You didn't get to choose that one. And people are like, I never watched them play as. That is pretty funny to watch them play as Pokemon or as babies or as
I
dicks
just
or as.
think like if Detroit it was famous Detroit people and Tim Taylor was your quarterback all year handing off to Eminem, I'd keep up, or it was
Yeah,
basketball.
Well,
vice
they would look
versa.
like them, but we would still know the athlete behind it. You're saying not know the athlete behind it?
And if we
that
did,
matters
if
if
we
we
did
wanna
that,
watch it,
and we
no.
stopped,
Yeah.
and
because
we
then you know
stopped,
their politics. That's the same reason people don't watch certain. Same with the NBA. If you didn't want to consume it that way, and of course you'd know it was LeBron. Or,
Yeah, you'd know. So you'd know.
but you wouldn't in the WNBA. Would you know? You can't name a girl now.
No, I
And
wouldn't know.
if they did it this, they wouldn't have to worry about being in a major metropolitan area because if you live in Fargo, you don't care what the Houston Lady Devils or whatever there's.
That's true. They could live in a.
It could be just
I
the
did feel that
the ladies' Second Amendments, and anybody who likes Second Amendment would be all about them.
it could
could
be
be
the avatars could be guns.
Yeah.
I'm saying they could have they could have a purpose behind it, like
Yeah.
the equalizers go for equality, just anything.
I love it. I love it. I
The
think
Sea
there's a
Guzzlers.
lot of options just by using the ability to customize what you're watching, even though you don't get to predict the outcome of what you're watching, but it could make what you're watching more enjoyable because now you don't don't like the way their uniforms look or their
Right.
color scheme or any of that. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or you just want it'd be fun to watch them play as a bunch of Bill Cosbys tonight. That'd be fun for us.
That'd be
You know,
awesome.
whatever.
Yeah, you saw Harriet Tubman do a killer crossover on Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
And it
Loved
made you
it.
But if it's there, it's below you.
So I don't know. It's Christmas. That goes back to cannibalism, eating
So
Jack.
have our lady listeners
Yeah, they're
chimed
here.
in?
They're here. They haven't chimed in. That's an interesting idea, Eric. I think that we don't utilize that technology, and it's right there. We wouldn't even have to be involved in developing it. It's there. Put the nerds on it.
The good people at Marvel Comics already did it.
Yeah.
They've got the technology.
But if
how
the
do you
whole-
do you think they made Space Jam?
Everybody's consuming this stuff. One, nobody's
Using the real
consuming.
actors,
You use it. The
Bugs Bunny
WNBA is the perfect foil for it because nobody's consuming it.
Right.
But everybody has the technology to consume this. They just aren't watching the WNBA at all. So you mix the two.
Yeah.
And now we're watching WNBA.
Yep.
And now, guess what? We're paying these women what they should be paid.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think if you put him in that way, and say, hey, you guys want to be paid as much as LeBron or more.
More now.
Then you got to wear these green suits with ping pong balls. I don't think one of them would be like, I'm out.
It's just a big yoga pant.
That's it.
They
Yeah.
love yoga pants.
Even if they don't like it, you take the role of,
Hey,
hey,
I don't know if most of those women are the yoga. I don't know if you.
Well.
You definitely have not watched the WNBA.
Well, they
Are
don't
they-
wear yoga pants playing now, but when they leave,
they're
they
like
do.
they're like
You
those
are
mid,
not one
they're
of
like
the-
those mid
You are
thigh
not
type
one
things.
of the 300,000 people that consumed the NBA final WNBA.
You
finals
might.
this
Hey,
people
guess
year.
what? I'm gonna tell you this.
We did that on our
It'd
show.
be
We
it'd be
discussed it.
higher. It'd
Yeah,
be
the show.
higher because what if you wanted to watch it without any filter? It's just a bunch of green people with balls. I'd watch it with no
That's
filter.
fun,
And
too.
it'd be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I'm watching the real NBA
Yeah.
more than I would now, which is never.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Be the San Diego au naturals.
Yeah. Now you'd have to do one green,
Yeah.
probably one green and one like purple, because they're actually still playing the game. You know what I mean?
Yo, you couldn't pass
Well,
it to another green
I
one.
don't think the NBA is going to do this. They're doing all right. This is the WNBA. I know you're trying to reverse it because you hate.
No, he
green.
said we're talking
said
WNBA.
WNBA.
He may have
Yeah.
misspoken. He's
Okay,
WNBA.
I'm sorry. Maybe I said NBA. I said that. So you'd have to have different colors of other things because they're actually still playing.
But
You know what I
what's so funny, or the irony in this, once we sold this to the WNBA, the amount of viewers would skyrocket to where it's more watched than any other sport.
Well,
Then they would make the NBA do it. And
well,
then
I
they
don't
would
know if
make
the NBA would. There would be another, like a pop-up league. It would just be like the street ballers.
Oh, the NBA
Because-
would. All of them would. If there's money involved,
No,
they'd
you're
be like,
right.
We're
No,
doing it.
Casey's right. It's just the NBA would only go about 2 or 3 years longer, and they were like, "We can't pay you," and they would all join the other league.
Yeah. Eventually,
They call it
everybody would be
live
fan controlled. Or
basketball.
what? Yeah.
But once technology got good enough, then we'd start having the street and one tournaments. The 3-on-3 at
Yeah.
Rutgers Park.
And LeBron would be playing in that.
Get
He ain't
hot
wearing no-
sauce back and white
green
chocolate.
The professor.
Professor, get him in there. He already wears
Professor
his-
died. He did a lot of crack after and he's no longer with us.
No, he's still alive. The white dude?
Oh, I watched the
Another-
30 for 30 on
30
them.
for
One of
30.
the guys.
Yeah,
That
it
was one of the
wasn't-
big
it wasn't the
ones.
professor. No,
Oh, a
he's
lot
still,
of those guys do drugs.
he's still
dude.
out there. Matter of fact, he wouldn't mind wearing it because he sometimes he gets dressed up as Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
He goes to pickup games.
Gosh, it's great. Then you think like, why aren't we utilizing it for just
Dude,
the office? Like,
Tonight, guess what? I'm watching one side sandwiches, the other side potato chips. Nothing but Pringle cans.
if you could just turn on your computer and you have a meeting and you got to make them wear whatever you
Oh,
wanted,
Yeah.
be
I think
hilarious.
you can do that.
No, they get to be in control of it, but you could put like,
Well, if you're
the not the mama
just
dinosaur
with
as
my
your
playing
boss. and-
recently, if you're the host of it, you can do that. You can mess with them.
Well, maybe you could add like little, like a Snapchat things where they put horns on them and glasses and
Yeah,
shit
you do. I think you can do filters.
and filter them.
But you could do NBA. Remember the game NBA Jams?
Yes.
Where if you made 3 shots in a row, you're on fire?
Yeah.
And your whole body
He's
kind
on
of starts.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could do that.
Yeah.
Somebody goes on a little hot run.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got a good
He's on
sales
fire.
pitch.
Or
He's
cold
on
run.
fire.
Or cold run. He's just a like block of ice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Putting that in this guy. He hasn't made a sale all month.
Somebody gets
Joins the meeting.
Somebody gets
Hi.
tatered, and their little birds start flying around
Yep.
their head.
I don't know. It's fun.
It
I
would
think,
work.
and it might be where we're going anyways.
Hey,
the
wait.
whole meta thing and
Did we
wearing the
just fix
Oculuses.
the WNBA? I think we just fixed it.
I think we're the only ones that actually legitimately tried. Most people
that's
say,
easy.
well, they're going to be skillful enough as long as we market it right. And it's like,
Wrong.
no,
Don't need it.
Wrong. Get out of here.
Below the rim basketball.
these people are vagin, dude,
That'll
or
save
vapping
it.
or whatever. Can't market that. So, anyways, we don't have a lot of solutions, but we fixed animal cruelty tonight,
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Easy.
and we fixed the WNBA.
Did that. And we figured out a little bit more about our favorite people, women.
And we also helped get them closer, if not exceed, that invisible pay ceiling that's been hanging
For
above them
Sure.
for the entirety
They're one dip
of their
away.
existence.
They're just one dip away in a job interview. That's it.
Just give them a shot.
Well, I'll try not to bring it down, but there was a woman in Florida that was not part of the WNBA, and she was
Oh,
arrested.
What was his name?
Sorry, we're loading here. I'm in 4G.
Wesley Snipes.
Well, she was arrested for hurling an uncooked steak at her boyfriend of 20
Oh.
years. Says domestic dispute they got into. They've been together for 20 years. That's 2 decades.
Yeah.
They've shared steak before, I'm sure. But
Not like this.
In 20 years, he didn't find out that she was nothing but a trifling bitch. 20 years.
good looking lady.
Yeah. His
How's-
poor heart.
Wow.
How's her throwing arm?
I don't know. This is
Shame.
what we don't get no.
Shame on her for not doing it earlier. I mean,
We don't got
you
it.
date somebody for 20 years, he's not going to put a ring on it.
Yeah.
He deserves to get a porterhouse across his
I got
head.
it for sure.
If you get the milk for free, why buy the cow? My hat's off to him.
Maybe he's hoping the cow loses some weight. They
Yeah.
don't put the ring on.
Right.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Rochelle Wright, 42, is facing a charge of domestic assault, according to a criminal complaint obtained by FND, Fox News Digital. Police say Wright and the male victim, with whom she had been in a relationship for 20 years, shares a child and got into an argument when they were intoxicated.
Mm.
Alcohol is involved inside their Tarpon Springs, Florida. Wright became angry and threw a piece of uncooked steak at the man while he was sitting on a chair, police say. The steak missed and hit the armrest of a chair in the wall directly behind him. Wright eventually admitted to throwing the steak because she was tired of his behavior and the arguing. She was arrested and booked into county jail on a misdemeanor charge and released from custody on Monday on her own recognizance. She got her bearings back, so she's back on the streets, guys.
I'm sorry, baby.
What do you think they were arguing about?
I'm sitting in a chair, minding my own damn business, just tying off, and out of nowhere, she just throws a snake. She throws a steak and smacks me up again my head.
Missed him completely. Somehow the cops are still.
It should be called a steak. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a steak, but it was uncooked.
But hold on, I tend to pick things apart too much, so I may be reading too much into it. But it says she threw a piece of a steak.
Ah,
So
Uncooked.
I'm wondering if she didn't cut off a cube and like,
Yep.
chucked it at him.
Take
Who
that,
called
you
the police?
filthy
you think?
animal.
My thing is, who called the police?
Oh, either him or their kid they share.
Or maybe it's an apartment they were just being so ridiculously
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
Arguing about it. She's like, I just wanted to watch the WNBA finals. And he's like, we're not watching that shit
Yeah.
tonight. Cook my steak. Then she cut a piece up. Here's your freaking steak,
Yeah.
you know.
have
Call
some
the
now.
cops.
Yeah.
These damn neighbors are just messing up my Tuesday.
Probably their dog. The dog might have called the cops.
The dog was
I know.
part of the steak.
The
They-
dog
it
was
was
there.
it was probably just a loud, like you said, a loud altercation. Cops
No, I
walking
think
by.
I think she was cooking the steak.
No, they
and
were eating
he's
the
like,
dog.
I want it medium rare this time.
And then she's like,
Bitch.
"Oh, you
She's like-
cook it."
I think the dog was the steak.
Hey, wee you. Wasting food. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Take her downtown, guys, fellas, ladies. Take her downtown.
I think if you get booked into county jail,
Steak jail. You get booked into steak jail. We all know how that's gonna end.
like, do they have female county jails or just the same county jail?
Oh, they're
They-
separate.
They are, yeah. They put the females on one side, the men on
No.
the other.
Otherwise, it would just be an uncontrollable orgy.
I think they do have some places if you have good behavior that they do make. No, they don't.
It's separate. Well, I don't know if it's like because it's not like it's just county jail that they're taking them to.
No, they still. They,
Yeah,
they-
some-
We have to
Sometimes
pay for 2 different jails.
Yeah, sometimes county jail can be
Have,
worse.
have you been? Have
It's
you
not-
been to county
I
jail?
mean,
No.
it's two different jails,
Ask around.
but it's the same building. It's the same infrastructure. It's just guys over here, girls over there,
I bet that one side just
and they just pull the curtain in between them.
Oh,
all the vapping just
Yeah,
going on in there.
So much vapping.
this could be our homework. We can ask around
Mhm.
whenever you're talking to
Women?
someone that's outside of the family or friends. When you're at work and you're there talking to somebody, it's like, hey, have you ever been to county jail? What's that like?
Oh, guaranteed. Everyone that I've met selling tacos has been to county jail.
Okay, that's my challenge to everybody in the room this week, to save that and take notes for next week.
How many people's been in county?
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Well,
In Oklahoma, in Lincoln County,
Yeah.
Oklahoma, all of them. Yeah.
All.
just
But I
Just
hear.
talk to people.
That's
But we
fine. I
will.
hear what you say. I hear what you're saying, and I will. But I'm going to come back and say everyone.
right.
Is county jail
In the county. It's in the county, yeah.
But did they do all the stuff like at the beginning where you take your clothes off and
Yeah.
spread your cheeks and do all the
They
stuff?
have to. You got to go in booking, dude.
I don't know if they spread the cheeks on everybody.
The only thing that,
It could be, but maybe not.
the only thing that I ask is
Hmm.
change the names to protect the guilty.
If you remember, Ivy also went to jail, and he had to spread his cheeks.
Maybe
That
they
was
did
county.
everybody.
That was county.
Well, that was Ivy though.
That's
Do the old
true.
spread your cheeks coughs thing?
Yeah, I think they do everybody.
Yeah, I think you may be right.
Because they especially if it's your first time, they want it to be really bad or good, depending on who you are.
Yeah.
So you either come back or are scared not to go back. So
I'm surprised you let him in here without spreading his cheeks.
there
and lifting
is
his
a
sack.
lot of cheek spreading that goes on account. I mean, and they're
Yeah.
hiring. That's the fun thing.
That'd be like a fun thing too. I mean, as far as to monetize stuff, if you just had a camera in that,
Yeah.
not like what you
No.
see on Orange is the New Black, but like real.
A real camera.
Yeah.
Spread them.
And by the way,
digital camera right next to their butt. Right next to their mug shot.
yeah,
We're gonna have butthole mug shots.
yeah,
And you know, there's a couple
And
guys.
you can do the game where they get buttholes over here, people over here. You have to guess.
match them.
And those guards that look at buttholes all day long, they've got to each of them looked at 5,000 buttholes.
Yeah.
But you know, there's one inmate that came in that has the worst butthole out of all those 5,000.
That they all
and
talk
there's
about.
one that
That
they
is
all
best.
say about. Oh my God! Remember that one butthole?
Yeah, that was nice.
Mm,
That thing's been
looked like a
slaughtered.
pearl button.
I don't know. Do they
That
That looks
let
like one of those Humane Society dogs.
Yeah.
do they let the men
Hey,
guards
Al, had another grapes.
the men guards look at the women's buttholes, or women guards look at men's buttholes?
I think
You need to watch Oz.
Yeah, but that's still a move. I want it
real.
Okay, watch
I wanna-
60 Days Inside or
like Ozzy Osbourne's reality, like real.
I think if you say you're a female, if you qualify as a female, or
Yeah.
you say you do, you know, there has to be a female
Guard.
with the officer that's doing it.
If you're
Right.
biological, they don't give a fuck what you.
Yeah,
They
if
give a
you're
heck.
guards
you're-
him, but
Yeah,
No, I
I
know what I'm saying.
understand. You
If you
can't be
say-
alone there. I know.
exactly.
Right.
So
That-
women
that's
can be
fine.
in control of it, but if you say I'm a male,
Yeah.
then a dude has to be in there with the ladies
Right.
that are squirting you down, you know, or watching your butthole.
Do you think there's like a lot of that probably happens a lot with like a weird guard that's really into it?
Hey, if a guard, if you had gender fluid guard, which that's what they're hiring now
Yeah.
for the butthole peepers, is because you go in there one day
Like, how do you apply for that
And guard
position?
one.
You know what I mean? Like, if you wanted it, not
that you write down butthole peeper.
right.
Yeah.
Because they probably most people are like, this is the worst duty that we get assigned. Sorry,
I
Yeah.
see what you did there.
this is the worst part of the job is when I have the week where I have to do butthole duty.
Right.
But then there's always the guys like, hey man, I'll do it for
I'll
you.
do it. I'll cover
Yeah,
you.
It's like, no, I think you like it too much, Terrence. You know, you always
Hey man, I'm
volunteer.
just trying to help.
Terrence, I know,
Huh?
but you did it last week, man.
I know.
Yeah, but people are kind of
That's
thinking,
all right. You know, Jimmy said he might
Yeah.
take the week off to go fishing. I was going to cover his shift too. He's the one that was supposed to be doing it with you.
yeah, but it's
So
some
I'll
people-
be in there with you. I'll see you next week.
your front of your pants are always wet
Huh?
at the end.
It
Terrence.
is. Well, I get all carried away with the water. Sometimes I have to spray them down.
It's not water. I
Yep,
don't-
nope,
No.
yep. It's water.
Every question comes back to butthole peeping. Why don't you be a team player? You got to do. You know, you may be this, but we all have to chip in, take out the trash. Oh, no problem. I will. I know you guys are looking at buttholes, so I'll look at them.
Yeah, I'll look at them.
Like we're doing a company-wide barbecue. It's gonna be outside. That's cool. Is it gonna affect butthole, like the butthole peeping time? Is
We're
that
going to
usually
have
doing
the butthole peeping booth.
Yeah, Terrence, it's fine.
So is that a seniority thing to get up there? Or
Yeah.
get,
Got a meeting going on. It's like glass. He goes in the glass door. Hey, you guys talk about butthole peeping?
no, sir. I will
I'm
not
in.
get complacent. I'm a big fan of continuing education. I've been looking at walnuts through a peephole
Yep.
all day long just to practice.
It's just strange that that job exists, but you know they probably are embarrassed about it, so they just probably say I work at the jail. They don't say what they actually do.
Oh yeah.
They probably don't
I
even
don't
really
know.
look.
But I'll tell you what, I'd be
They do a
proud of
quick
it.
glance, whatever.
I'd be proud of it. I'd be the one that wants to try to bust somebody and have like a kilo of cocaine.
Yeah, you really get in there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like-
hey, again,
And I know there's records. You know there's records. Like I pulled 4 balloons of black tar heroin. Yeah, well, I pulled a whole kilo out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you don't want to be the guy.
with a mag light.
You don't want to be the Bob Green Eggs and Hamlin. where you're either in a home run or striking out.
True.
And you're striking out 10 times for every home run.
That's true.
You don't want to be getting into 18 buttholes just
Yeah.
to find one balloon of heroin.
Find one balloon.
Well,
of
here's the
heroin.
question: do you see the balloon, or can they get it up there far enough where you can't
I think
see
they
it?
could tell because whatever they stick up there kind of
Starts to poke out, but do you
Well,
gotta like
not-
go
not-
up there and smack him with a taint or something?
Yeah, you smack
Hit
them
him in the
with flashlight.
yeah.
You
Take 'em-
distract, and then you just go doorbell, ding dong.
Yeah,
boop.
boom, bong, and they go, and there it is.
And then the tape knife falls out and you can't find
That's-
it.
That's why they tell them to cough.
Hey,
Oh,
listen,
cough harder. You know, like oh
Hey.
come on, really cough.
You butthole peep how you want to. I ain't giving
Like
any secrets.
when they train you, are they saying like, hey,
They don't
if,
train.
If they cough and they go like, and you don't see the butthole move,
Yeah.
you got to see a
Yeah.
butthole
You gotta
move.
see it move.
Tell them to cough again.
Yep.
There's one guy's like, hey man, sometimes they just won't. They say they can't.
Cough harder.
Get up there and just pat them on the taint.
Yeah.
Just get up there and hit
With
him
your
with your
flashlight. Just ding dong.
smack.
What do they do? What do they do with the morbidly obese? I mean, a lot of those men and women can't even
Spread anything.
spread. They can't reach behind. They're basically wheelchair bound.
Well,
Well-
you get a shoehorn and fold it back twice.
Yeah, you gotta
They've
get
got to
those
have
long
somebody that must be
shoehorns.
spreading them.
Or you get like that thing that keeps
They got that weird fat person double butt where they got
well,
the
if you
small
have
butt inside the big butt.
like a truck bed that you can keep your gear in, that thing that ratchets to make your bed smaller. You know, you can put it up in your bed. Just put
It's
that in
more of
there.
a
Little
it's more of a
spacer bar
wonder
thing.
bar or
Like a
flat bar
Bender
situation.
bar.
Just start jacking the cheeks apart and then cough.
Got that cheek jacker?
Yeah. Up. Grab that, sir. You know, you'd see him walk in. Sir, grab that, you know.
And what's the over under on every 100 inmates they make cough? That has a little Hershey squirt come out.
See, that's the scary part. If you didn't want to be embarrassed and you got booked into jail.
Oh yeah, because you're probably drunk.
Yeah.
You probably be eating like 50-cent tacos. You got bubble guts anyways.
Mm-hmm. And you got maybe just a little shit in there anyways.
Yeah, you were trying to take home the bar skank, so you didn't want to go to the bathroom and take a shit at the bar, so you're waiting to get home anyways.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, spread them.
Really?
Okay.
I'm not hiding anything, I promise.
Yep.
But what I am hiding, you don't want to see. I
move behind that plexiglass.
I've heard it all.
And
Oh,
then
if you're talking about shitting on the floor, it happens all
It
the
happens
time.
all the time. That's why we do it in the shower, dummy.
a
spread up.
Bible
See,
falls
that's
out.
what I wanted.
See those tape marks?
Word of
Yep.
John,
There's a
dude.
champion.
Yep.
18 foot.
Yep.
Most people fall around 7 foot. It's about all
hey,
far
hey,
they
hey,
can see.
hey, hold on. All right, go.
Full
IRS
face
agent
shield.
just fell out of that dude.
That's right. There's another one. Burns that one right out there.
And what were you planning on to doing with this?
Another great idea. If you were engaged,
Anal IRS.
if you're engaged to a prison security guard, you hire a chick to get arrested, put the old wedding ring in your old keister.
Fucking great
Your
idea.
fiance,
Oh,
soon to be fiance,
you put it around a hot dog though,
whatever. As long as the
Yeah.
ring, as long as the ring comes out.
so it looks like a finger.
Soon to be fiance has the inmate booked, bent over, cough, bing, 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 and then you step out behind. Will you marry me?
Yeah.
And the lady goes, "Can I get up now?" Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can. You're fine.
Your
It's
check's
so
outside.
stupid to use a bratwurst because then you had to like really squeeze the ring around it. She's like, "Why did you?" It's like, "Oh, just I didn't want it to fall
Fing-
out.
it's a finger.
I wanted a finger."
It took a long time. I know you love
That's how
your
much
job.
I love you.
I know you love your
Keeps
job, and you
pulling
love
out
me.
the kielbasa.
Is there any more jewelry
Oh,
in
those
here?
are natural casings.
It's in the middle.
I don't know. Find out.
It's in the middle. Keep pulling. Oh, you found it? Will you? Yeah.
Sounds like somebody
For your
dropped
wedding
a
reception,
coin
you serve
purse.
bratwurst as an inside little romantic thing. We're serving bratwurst because he proposed to me with a bratwurst coming out of a
Have you ever heard this story?
rectum.
Oh, that's what the little Smokies were in the Wagoneer.
That would be like one of the most interesting proposals, probably.
Yeah.
Because you've seen the champagne glass, like
All
it's in the
Yeah.
bottom of the
Well,
champagne
it's on the
glass.
cheesecake.
Yeah, it's in the macaroni bowl or something.
Tied
Sure.
to the dog's leash.
No, I did it backward. I did do the cheesecake thing, but I did it backwards.
What do you mean?
I put my wedding ring on the cheesecake and gave it to her. And she was really confused. Like, are you divorcing me? We're not married. It's like,
Why am I
know.
eating your ring, dude? I don't know.
That's what happened to my ring. I put it on there, thinking it would be nice. She ate it.
Yeah, and then you can't say anything.
Well, then I said spread up, and I was like, I'll marry her. It was later. It was like
Yeah.
a day later.
You're gonna hear something ting when you go to
Yeah.
the bathroom.
I'll get it.
Up against the wall.
It's gonna sound just like a ring falling out your ass into a toilet.
Well, a lot of those places are hiring, dude. So if you guys need work, talk to the county.
I got a confession for you.
Government benefits.
Mm-hmm. It's a good job. What's
What?
your confession?
I went to Taco Rio.
Well, that's
Yeah.
of course you did.
They were
Yeah.
closed.
For what?
Lack of work. They closed at 4.
That's crazy.
A Mexican place closed down because no help.
Taco Rio
Well, that was the siesta time.
closed
Wow.
at 4 because they didn't have anybody to either work night shift or any shift or whatever. They couldn't find employees. So
If you're looking for a gig in Wichita,
Taco Rio, man,
Taco
hit 'em
Rio
up.
needs
Hit 'em up. They're hiring like everyone else.
mhm,
You don't even have to know how to read.
The Clutch closed down.
the clutch.
Yeah, that was that one down there on Seneca.
Used to
Where
be
the,
tight
uh,
ends.
It used to be
Oh,
tight
yeah.
ends, and it was
Where the
Clutch,
biggins worked.
which I think the Clutch was a gay bar. But I'm not sure. I don't know.
It
but
wasn't.
It wasn't.
No.
Wasn't.
I tried.
You
Was
went
it-
in there? Okay.
They had a big old
All those
ass.
guys were straight. I couldn't get laid
Yeah.
to save my life.
Not.
Not a one of those dudes wanted to. It's now some pizza joint. So I mean, it's still open, but it's a pizza joint.
Clutch.
Yeah, but
I
it's
thought
not
it
called
was-
the Clutch anymore. It's called something pizza.
Pizza Ranch.
It just
Pro-
wasn't.
No.
Because it's right by my place I go now to get my Smokies,
Uh-huh.
and it was still closed last I drove by because they're doing an auction for all the equipment inside, chairs and
Oh, yeah.
ovens and all that. And I was going to
Really?
send that to you guys. Yeah, coolers, fridges, all. So
Are you talking about the one on Seneca?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, right off of
They already got it.
235.
They already
Yeah.
got it flipped, I guess.
they already
huh?
got it flipped, dude. It's
The
a
last
pizza.
time-
It's been a week since I've been. Huh.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's a pizza place. now.
I was there in October. And the reason I say October, because I was sitting there at the bar eating lunch and I thought it was hilarious because the bartender was talking to one of the waitresses and is like, yes, you can dress up for Halloween, but first of all, no thongs and no pasties. Other than that, you can wear a costume. You have to be covered.
Yeah.
I just busted out laughing.
Well, nobody. If you drop a plate or something, you don't want to
Yeah, I don't,
look at an eclipse.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have. I don't want to see you
Ringworm,
me
like a.
That's
here.
a food handler's thing.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody sneezing.
But
Right.
if you do want to buy a tea bag, dude, head to the waterhead.com. We have
Yep.
Juneteenth tea bags
Yep.
on there right now. They're on sale.
All sizes.
All sizes.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to get a Juneteenth tea bag and help support the show, go to the waterhead.com and buy one. We'll get pasties up there soon. That's a good idea.
Great idea.
That's a great segue, sir.
Juneteenth. So
That's a great segue.
please support the show in any way you can. You can do Patreon, but we prefer selling merchandise so you can spread the joy,
And spread your
literally and
ladies.
figuratively. So
Tudor's Pizza.
That's it.
It's not open yet, but
I thought-
Tutors?
that's about that.
well, on
Is
this
that, is that
story,
a play a word on butts? Like they're
No,
gonna have
but
nice
it's
butts. They want
it's one of
hey,
the-
here's
it's
your
the old
Tudor's
owner
pizza.
of Nola's,
Oh, cool.
so it's not going to be good pizza.
Oh, Nola's is all
How
right.
dare you?
It's
No,
all right.
Nola's is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's a decent pizza. It's an all right. It's it's floury. It's a little bit floury.
It's not as good as Gambino's, but I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or classic Italian Sabaros.
Sorry.
Oh, it's not as good as Sparrows, but it is good. No,
It's all right.
Okay.
They won't make it either.
no, they will
No.
not make it. It's a horrible look. It's cursed location, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Willie C's cursed it, dude.
Just too many
Right.
white trash.
Yeah. If Willie C's comes
That's
back,
not
let me
where
know.
Willie C's was.
That's
that
why
was
I
one
go
more
there.
exit up at Cynic or at West Street.
It's the only place that can't keep a bar open that's within 2 miles of 2 different universities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them is a
not
Catholic
been good
university.
themes so far. The tight end thing, and they were bad girls there. I went only one time and we had 2 beers and left.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Who'd you go with, TJ?
No.
Your son?
And when you say bad girls, you mean like bad service.
just not to fit the theme of the restaurant.
Oh, wrong color.
Like not very polite.
The tattoos and the bullet
Muslim.
wound in their ass.
They didn't have tight ends.
Oh,
No.
I got you. I hear what
You
you're
never really hear a lot about Afghanis
They were
with
just
nice
flat,
dumpers.
they were flat ends. They were all methy chicks, is what they were. They were all little skinny white methy chicks.
Oh, I would have loved it then.
I know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet they do, though. You just don't see them, I guess.
Yeah. My dad never told me. It's like, son, what you need to do is find a good Afghani woman
Yeah.
with some bullet wounds in her ass.
A great ass.
You're gonna be a happy fellow.
You say it about Latin America. It's like, oh, these Brazilians have, God, they have great
Yeah,
asses.
look at their ass.
Yeah.
But you never say about Afghanistan.
Sure don't.
Well,
Racist.
I just don't know if you talk a lot about them in general, though. There's
Well, I mean,
not-
they're both. They're for me. They might as well both be in the middle. It doesn't. I've never been to either place. So
Are
I
you,
just,
are you sandbagging?
No, I don't know. I wish I could.
I'm trying to picture in my head like if I've seen like a Afghani dance, because you know Brazil, they're doing the Brazil dancing in the streets. The
Mhm.
Asian girls dressed up as the Hello
No.
Kitty dolls
Yeah, the
dance.
Pokemon.
You know,
Yeah.
they all have the same thing. But Afghani women, I don't
No.
recall ever seeing them
That's the
twerking.
belly dancers.
They got a twerk thing going on.
They're the
No.
belly dancers
The
in Afghani.
Are they belly dancers over
No.
there? That's more. I've seen that's like a more Egyptian.
Yeah,
Moroccan, maybe.
right.
It's all there in the
honestly, it's-
sand.
It's now.
Well,
It's
yeah,
all
it's in the same
50-year-old white women that do
Yeah.
it.
100-mile radius or whatever. I mean, I'm not a mathematician or a mathematician, but it's in the same proximity.
I'm trying to be
But
nice.
Toblerone comes from
I
Switzerland.
do tarot
That's true.
cards. I
That's
raise
true.
cats, and I'm a
Thank you.
belly dancer. Okay,
One of the best belly
multifaceted
dancers.
business.
Oh, it's a Himalayan salt lamp.
Would you like it?
Sometimes I think that lava lamps look like you could jizz in them, like a. If you put a bunch of man jelly in there,
Hmm.
nobody would know. Could just kind of fill it up.
Only one way to
Like
find
a
out.
he was
baby
my
pool.
favorite KU coach.
Jelly roll.
No, Coach Mangelli.
Yeah, men's jelly was good.
Jelly rolls.
Well, he was one of your
favorite
He was one of my
musician.
favorite coaches when he was at Oklahoma too.
Mm-hmm.
Position coach.
Yep, and this show is brought to you by Todd Riesling. Not only a great wine, but a great,
Some called him
Quarterback.
the Jayhawk gunslinger.
yeah, the Brett Favre of the Plains.
Yep.
So if you guys want to look up Todd Riesling highlights,
Yeah.
go to thewaterhead.com. We've got it posted there right now. So thank you guys for listening tonight.
Also, this episode's brought to you by Jelly Manzello,
Johnny Manzello, Gorgonzola
Gundy.
cheese.
Super Gundy,
Yep, Mike Gundy
Yep.
will be on next week's show as a cast member,
Yep.
not as an interview.
right?
Just to kind of bring some levity and some,
We'll talk about all
Round
brothers,
the
brother.
show up.
just to kind of give us out on some of the things that we say.
And vapping, ladies.
Yeah, he'll be reading everything
do
we
more
write.
of it.
And brought to you by the
Yeah, he'll fill in
2000
for Andy Reid's.
Right.
2025 WNBA MVP, Eleanor Roosevelt.
Nice. That's who I'm rocking tonight. She was a president,
Yeah,
right?
and I have my Lyndon Baines Johnson in tonight.
Nice.
So I'm keeping it real, dude, and I'm going back to war,
Love it.
So I don't care if some Catholic has to take one in the forehead in Dallas for me to get there.
Right. Worth it.
It's all about them Benjamins, dude, and that's
Yep.
Benjamin Johnson. I'll be wearing him tomorrow. So, yeah, go to the Waterhead for all your presidential butt plugs. You guys can tell us who you're rocking and get yourself a Juneteenth thong so people can maybe guess as you bend over.
Love that.
So that little head will be peeking out the edge of that tea bag.
He said yes.
Bulla, bulla, bulla.
So, with that being said, don't let your meat loaf, everybody. And we're leaving now. Bye,
Have-
Tony.
Happy birthday, Steve. Bye, Tony. Steve.
Carp,
Happy,
Carp.
happy birthday.
carp, carp.